All right, good morning, SWTOR. Good to have you with us on this Saturday. It's time for some extra life streaming in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Today we're going to hit on probably some Galactic Seasons, maybe play through some story content. We're going to go through the game update 7.3, Old Wounds, patch notes, take a look at what's going there. You can see up here in the upper corner, we've got the Old Wounds missions available. Debating on whether I'm going to do those on stream or not, but it is great to have you with us. As always, we stream every weekend for Extra Life. Extra Life is a charitable organization that raises money for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So if you are able and willing, you'll find the donate link in the chat or in the description down below, and that will allow you to donate to my profile page, and all that money goes directly to the Children's Miracle Network. So that is awesome. Helps some sick kids and their families. So thought we'd start out by taking a look at the 7.3 update. So some things I have noticed just in general. This to me feels different. These tabs I think are in a different spot. I haven't gone back and looked at old streams or anything like that to see if that's true, but it does feel different. I know the interface has changed a bit, so that also goes along with the updates to some economy things that we're going to talk about in a second here. So that's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed is where it says rating 336. I think that font has changed. Again, I haven't gone back and verified, but it feels different, feels bolder. So some minor upgrades to, those kind of things. I have actually noticed. All right, so let's go ahead and start taking a look at the Old Wounds. So I'm going to jump over to the patch notes here, this is the article. So game update 7.3 Old Wounds is live. There's a story update. The story update is a new little story arc. It takes place on Voss. They have made a change. There is this new flashpoint, and the new flashpoint is story adjacent, I think is how they're explaining it. Like if you think back to some of the other flashpoints that we've done, let me pull up the 7.0 graphic here. All right, let's slide this up here. So if you think about like the original game, flows through Ilum. All right, so here. And then the flashpoints weren't really linked to the story. Kuat a little bit maybe. But for the most part, these flashpoints, you could do them at kind of any time. Then we went through, you got your Ilum stuff, and you got your raids and flashpoints and everything. So this is kind of, the original game. Then we have Makeb as an expansion. And again, you got CZ here. It's its own little story arc, but not necessarily related to that. But then in Forged Alliances, these flashpoints started becoming part of the story. I would say this is probably when that started to happen. And then in Rishi, you start to get into a period where it's like, okay, these flashpoints become kind of the cap to the story arc, right? They are integrated into the story. This is also when they implemented the story mode of flashpoints. I don't know if it was in Rishi, but in these areas, it might have been back here, where you got the companion droid to help you through, because if you couldn't find a group, you couldn't get through it. So these became important, right? Same with Yavin. And then we got the big expansions here. Fallen Empire and Eternal Throne. Same thing here, though. Now, this period, once we got through all of this kind of stuff, then the flashpoints became almost the story. There'd be some story wrappers linked around the outside of these flashpoints, but the flashpoints were a relatively major component. Then we got back into some planet stuff and, continued forward. So, what are they saying? Or what they're saying is, in their new, and I'm going to air quote new, way of doing this, is they're going to go back to the flashpoint is in the same area, it's story adjacent, it has a lot of things, but it's not integrated into the story. So you can do this story and not the flashpoint, and the story is complete. You can do the flashpoint separate, and you don't have to necessarily do the story. All right, so that's what they said in the live stream. We've got some more inflation fighting stuff coming in. We'll take a look at some of that. I think this is they have removed the daily resource matrices. I like this. We'll take a look at that when we hit the patch notes. There's always going to be some balancing. We'll take a look at those, but we're not going to dig deep into those. Then they've made some announcements here. July 11th, the Nightlife event is coming back. From what I've read here and in the patch notes, it feels like this is some of the same stuff that we already have. These high roller, so I don't know if these are new. Like, this skiff looks new. I don't know if the armor set might be new. I know in the last Nightlife we got a whole series of weapons. I'm hoping / crossing my fingers when they go to the next year's Nightlife event, they often put the last version's items on the vendor so you can just buy them. So you can win them the first year, you can buy them the second year. Okay, so we've got the high roller skiff, we've got the armor images here. Then we've got PvP Season 3. I don't think I missed anything there. Yep, PvP Season 3, again, not coming until July 18th, so that's not live yet. And then those are the armors you can get with that. Okay, so that is the kind of the overview. So like I said, Old Wounds, I think this is my only character that is actually current on the story. This one I kind of use to play through the story first, and then I worry about stuff. Looks like we have a decoration that we get for that. Some tech fragments and stuff like that. But this is just the what we'll call the Herald quest, right? This is the one that's like, okay, let's get you into the story, and then you go through some other stuff. All right, the other thing that I want to look at then is, let's go ahead and pull up the full patch notes here, and we'll start digging through these. Okay, so we've got the story. That's what we talked about. The new Flashpoint. We'll probably get Wivister back in the world here in the next couple weeks. We're missing. We didn't finish I think the Ruins of Null was the last Flashpoint. We didn't do that in Master Mode, and then we'll have this new Flashpoint. We're also thinking going back and doing some of the Republic ones, but Wivister's got to level up a Republic tune. He plays almost primarily on Imp side. Okay, the Credit Economy Initiative. That is the inflation fighting thing. So there was a tax evasion guild perk. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what that was, but my gut is it either eliminated or lowered the GTN fee that you get. So if you sell something on the GTN, if it sells, there is an 8% tax essentially. So if I sell something for 100 credits, I will get back 92, and 8 credits is taken out of the economy. So these are your classic, what we call a guild sink, right? It's like, get this stuff out. That doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to another player. It doesn't go into any fund. It's just removed. And the key to an MMO economy is how many credits are coming into the system and how many credits are coming out. Unlike the real world, resources can be generated for free inside of an MMO. So if I run a daily mission, right, and I get 10,000 credits for that daily mission, those 10,000 credits didn't come from anywhere. You know, it's not like a real economy where the mission giver only has a finite resource and can only give out 20 of those missions, and then he runs out of credits. That is an infinite supply of credits, and if every player runs that mission, every player gets that 10,000. So you have this artificial input of credits into the economy. And so you have to also get an output. You've got to get those credits out of the economy. Now, selling stuff to other players or transferring stuff around or giving credits to other players doesn't remove it from the game. But things like this do. So, you know, obviously that scales up. It's a percentage. So it's 8 credits for 100, but 1,000 is 80 credits, 10,000 is 800 credits, and so on and so forth. We're going to do some math a little bit later here and take a look at that. This is talking about is there anything else in there? New transaction fee. We'll take a look at that in a second. Adjusted vendor sales values on many items. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Progression changes. Again, this is the removal, essentially, of the daily resource matrices. They've also changed some of the weekly caps and stuff like that. Combat changes, balance changes to several classes. We'll kind of go through that. There's the Extra Life and the PvP, which haven't happened. Okay, so upon joining a guild, players will not have access to the guild bank until they have been in the guild for 30 days. This is an interesting change. Over the years, I have been guild masters and run guilds, and when we were setting ours up, let me get over to a different character here. You have control over this, but I don't think all players know. So what would happen on occasion is a player would join a guild and then get access to the guild bank, just clean a guild out or take as much as they could, and then they'd leave the guild. And it's a crappy thing to do, but it does happen. So let me pop open here. Let's jump back over to this view. Okay, so if I come in here to guild management here, based off of the rank. So let's say I have a new recruit. I can turn off their guild access, right? I can also give them so many credits. I can allow them to withdraw. I can allow them to use those for repairs. I can allow them to use those to summon other guild members. I can show them the ledger, which right now, again, this is just my characters in this guild, so I don't do anything. But I can keep track of that. Then if you rank up, let's say you become a member. Well, right now I don't have anything on there. Veteran, I think I just turned all these off. Okay, so officer, I've turned on. I don't think I have any officers in the guild either. So let's just make a change here. So let's say you became a member, right? Well, I can set like, okay, I'm going to give you 100,000 for repairs and summons. I'm not going to let you just take that out of the guild as a member, right? But maybe as an officer, I want that officer to be able to take it out of the guild. And then I could actually say, you know what, as a member, I'm going to give you access to this first and second guild vault. I'll let you take out 10 items a week. And this toggles whether stackable items should count as one item or multiple items when compared to the weekly withdrawal limits. I can't remember on or off which way this goes, but essentially, let's say you had a resource like Desh scavenging resource. and they wanted to pull out 100 units, if that would go over this, or does it count as just one for the whole stack? And I can't remember which way you have to set this toggle. All right, so now I've got that. So what I have here is the recruit. They first join our guild, and they have to go through some kind of onboarding process. We don't trust you yet. You can't get access to any of this stuff. Back when this was a guild and I actually had people in it, I had this carbon freeze where not only did I have this locked down. Let's see, is it in here? Let's look here. You'll notice that I completely, so like a recruit can view and send things in guild chat. They can view member notes. Carbon freeze was for like, okay, we're having a problem with a guild member. Let's just lock them down. And so they can see the guild chat, but they can't send anything anymore. They don't have access to anything. That's with that. This was an old rank I had for people who were like, well, they've kind of disappeared, but they were a valued member of the guild. So we just basically, again, if you look over here, we just locked them down in case they come back and get all upset, right? Then we had our member. You'll notice that members gain the ability to invite. Veterans, I think, are the same way. These are essentially the same rank. The difference being, these are people who have been in the guild for a long time. Then we had officers. Officers have gained a whole lot of things that they can do. Then you're going to find a weird thing here that I did. You can only have one guild master. So whoever is the guild master gets this rank. Your alts do not. So only one character gets that. In this case, it's Tolgora here. He's the current guild master of this guild. So what I did here, and I think this is a cool little trick, is you'll notice that I've got guild master here. So if we look at the roster and we sort by guild rank here, you're going to see all of my characters are listed as guild master. And then I think that's an old account I have, and some of Wivister's characters and stuff like that are listed as officers. What this really is, though, is this character is the only one who's the actual guild master. This rank, let's see, can I edit the rank? Edit rank name? Nope, it won't show it. What it actually is this guild master with a space at the end of it. So visually, you can't tell the difference. So if we look at the roster, you can't see the difference because there's just a space. But it allowed me to have two guildmaster ranks. So I have to actually set that. So if I wanted to, come in here and let's say I take this character, I can make them the guildmaster because I am the guildmaster. But like if I set them as an officer, you notice they drop down to officer. And so I have to set my characters to that second guildmaster. These are in order, just as they are, in this rank order. And you can change that, right? You can, where's it at? There it is. You can move these up and down. And what's interesting is if you allow, I'm going deeper into this than I thought, but if you allow this permission set rank, so for instance, officer has set rank, they can only set ranks that are lowered to themselves. So an officer can't set somebody else as an officer, but they can set veterans, members, LOA, carbon freeze, and recruit. So it's kind of a, like a tiered system for anybody who has that permission. Anyway, so these permissions exist. Now, so where was all that going? That was a long explanation for, let's go back to the notes here. Upon joining a guild, players will not have access to the guild bank until they have been in the guild for 30 days. If you have this set up right, that's not going to make any difference. Actually, it might make a difference if you regularly want to give permission. They have to wait that out. So the other thing there is, and I don't have any characters this way. Sometimes you'll see on the roster, you'll see a character that is grayed out. And I'm not sure. I wonder. Yeah, I've got Wivister's account logged in. going to boot this character out. Because he's already been in the guild, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. This will be interesting. So I've got another machine over here on my right hand side that I am running Wivister's account on because I want to do some things in the trade for the economy. Not sure if this is going to work or not, but we'll grab this character. Or grab one of his characters. There we go. So I am going to type /G invite default, and that sends over the guild invite. I accept him. So you notice his little name. Oh, you guys aren't seeing that. Let's go back to this view. There we go. Actually, I'll remove him again. Let's go through this whole process real quick. Okay, where's default? That's my character. There he is. Okay, it did work, so... Okay, let's go through this again. We're going to remove him from the guild. Okay, so he is non-guilded now. I think... Let's see, can you invite from here? I don't think I've ever tried. Yeah, you can invite from here. You can also type /G invite space in the name of the character. That sends over a guild invite. It says Togoro has invited you to join Deconstruction Gaming Republic. Would you like to join the guild? I'm going to click on accept. So now you notice that the guild tag showed up. We go into here and you notice his name is grayed out. So this gray, and he starts as a recruit, which... If you look at our ranks, characters are going to start at whatever this lowest rank is. So in that priority list. This grayed out means that this character cannot participate in Galactic Seasons. So, well, they can still do it, but their total won't count. Set officer, set a primary, remove from guild, set rank, ban from guild. I don't see anything that has changed there. Now on, you guys can't see this, but I'm going to try to access the guild bank on that character, and it just says guild members can store oh, you know what, this may or may not work because I think his preferred account, that might be a subscriber only perk. So I don't know if I'll be able to check that or not. Okay. Then the next thing, you know, because this is an alt of a known member, I would normally go in here and I'd say, okay, we're going to go ahead and set your rank to officer. So now that changes. Let me see if I can access the guild bank now. Nope. So I can't tell on that guild bank thing. Might get crazy and boot one of my own characters and bring them back in. I don't know. I don't know if it's on a per account. Who do I have that I could boot that I don't? We could boot him. Fallen Empire gear. I don't want to do one that I want to do conquest on. Quick bar. We could get rid of him. Who else do we have? Let's dump somebody. Nope. Maybe. That one probably is a good candidate. Alright, so I'm going to boot Dajagu here. Remove from guild. Okay. Let's go find that character. This was oh man, I don't remember the last time I played this character. He's still on Tython. It's going to be somewhere here at the end of my list. There he is. It was just a character I was playing through to play the Jedi. I think, yeah, he's a Guardian Jedi Knight story. but making dark side choices, because I've played all my Jedis as light side Jedis, so I didn't get very far, and I just have never gone back and played him. So okay, so you'll notice that if I look at myself, I am not in the guild anymore. I'm gonna go over to the other machine here. Why didn't that work? Guild. Oh, did I not give... Let me check something. I should be able to invite. Let's try it with the text command. Actually, I think I know what it is. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, so I have a setting. I don't know why I have this on, because all of my characters are gilded, but this is worth talking about. Down here in social, I have auto ignore guild invites. I probably had that on for something when I was doing a non-gilded thing, so I'm going to apply that, turn that off. Now we should be able to invite ourselves. There we go. So we get I'm being invited to the guild. Would you like to join this guild? I'm going to say yes. Okay, you don't have permission to view this because we've seen our permissions set, so I can't see that. You'll also notice all the management stuff isn't here and different things like that. Let's go check our guild roster. So I am now grayed out, but let's change. I can at least set this person to set rank to veteran. So you'll notice that my rank is now changed to veteran. Notice he is also still grayed out. Still don't have permission, but I don't remember. I think we had that set as something that should be doable, but let's go ahead and go full on here. So we'll pop back in to the guild master. So if guild management is something that you find yourself into, I saw a question on a couple of Facebook groups that I follow, and one of them was like, I joined a guild, and then like 3 weeks later, I was appointed guild master. So we'll talk about that here in a second. So okay, so default as an officer. Let's go ahead and we're going to set that rank up to that guild master. Okay, so now my character should have all of the permissions. Notice that I can't turn them off for my character, but these are all on now. And if we check our guild management stuff, all this stuff should be on. All right, so let's go back and see if this fires up. So anyway, so what happens is they added something, it's been a while ago, where if the guild master doesn't log on within a certain amount of days, so they basically just disappear, the first person who logs into the guild becomes the guild master. I've had that happen to me before. I've also had it happen on accident. I had a small guild. There was like 4 or 5 of us that would play, and I had the guild master set on. Okay, so I do have access to this. So what did the patch notes say? Upon joining a guild, players will not have access to the guild bank until they have been in the guild for 30 days. Maybe the rank thing, overrides that. Maybe it's because this is an existing character who's already been in the guild. Maybe it's because my account's already in the guild. I'm not 100% sure. But it is a nice safety mechanism. I got to say, it's like I don't mind that, because I have seen guilds that have gotten taken advantage of, and that definitely sucks. Okay, let's move on. I was going to say, I could make a new character and see. If somebody wants me to test that, let me know. I can dig deeper into that and see if we can find anything. Okay, I'm going to move my stream deck here. I've been trying it in different places, and I don't like it over there. Okay, so fix several gap issues on Alderaan. Most of this kind of stuff, remove the trees from the bridge. Trees are no longer floating. Environment no longer disappears. So just some glitchy stuff that they fixed. Class buffs no longer removed. Class buffs are interesting. Class buffs are these things down here. They used to be an actual command that you could run. And then as you finished, I think it's when you finish chapter 3, you would get them for all of your characters. So like, Force Valor, if I remember right, is let's see if I can remember. That's the Trooper one, Fortification, so endurance goes up. That's the Smuggler one. Force Might, I think, is the Jedi Knight, and I think this is the Jedi Consular. So as you finished each of those, when you would do your buff. So when I first make a character, and let's say it's a Trooper, I would get the Fortification buff, but that's the only one. But then when I finished chapter 3 and I started my Jedi Knight, I would get my Jedi Knight and the Trooper one. And then when I finished that one, I'd get the next one. And so you collect these up. I used to just hang out. I don't know what's going on there. I think that's a glitch from where Defal was standing. So on my Jedi Knight, what I used to do is you hang out on starter planets, and just to be a helpful, friendly member of the community, you would just drop when I had a command, so I could select, another player, and then I could hit my buff key and give them all 4 buffs. Especially for a new player, that was really cool because you got all these bonuses. Eventually, they took that command away, and you just automatically get those because they also ran out. They would only last for so long, and you'd have to reapply them. That was kind of silly. Honestly, at this point, since you can't give them to other people anymore, I think they should just, incorporate these in. The problem being is this whole system of you earn these and you get more and more and more, I think is still in place. And so it encourages people to play other characters. I kind of get that. But this is kind of an outdated system. So you got 4 items here in your buff bar that are just always on for a player that's been playing for a while. You can't, I don't think you can get rid of them. Yeah, I can't right click on them. So anyway, what that patch note is saying is when you would go from instance to instance or planet to planet, sometimes your companions would lose those buffs, at least the visual. I don't know if they were actually losing it. Added resource nodes to Runic. Remove the mouse droid sounds when loading character selection. If player is set to bound item by mail, there's a pop-up message. So a lot of this is just bug fixy, cleanup fixy, and stuff like that. No longer accept trades that would place them over the credit cap. That's a good one. There are some things that would happen where there is still a credit cap for a single character. I don't remember the exact number. It's like 4.1 billion or something like that. It's basically, if you're into programming, it is the limit of I think it's a 32-bit integer, I think. It's the limit of how many numbers that variable can store. So basically on the code side, there is a memory container that keeps track of a number that is your credits, and that memory container has a cap. It has an upper limit, and this number is that cap. And so if you would accept mail or something and went over that cap, those credits would just disappear, and evidently in trades as well. So okay, so quick travel, we fixed a quick travel point. again, more floating geometry, alphabetizing lists. Again, another flickering or graphical glitch. Magnify cursor showing the right position now. Fix the size of the map icons on the overlay map. What I think that means is if we look at the map, it's not doing it here, but occasionally, like a mission or one of the circles that show you an area, they would get really, really small. I would assume that's what that is. Let's see. Magnify cursor. Return to Med Center button will now spawn the player inside the Mechshaw stronghold. Okay. Correctly charged when entering a stronghold. This is one I don't use a lot, but for instance, if I wanted my trooper to go to Droman Kos, they charge you credits. Smugglers and agents get less. Evidently, this was wrong at some point. I don't know. Outdated ability tutorials. Yeah, this is something that I think that's in the new player tutorial. You'll still find stuff in here. See if we can find one that are no longer relevant. Chatting, PvP, gifts, companions. Actually, that list looks smaller. They may have cleaned this out. Yeah, that looks a lot smaller. I think they removed a lot of stuff just out of this tutorial. What character am I on? It could be because I'm on the wrong character. Hold on. Let's go grab a different character. Because you open those up, they don't just give you all the tutorials. They're open based off of play. So we'll grab Zach's here. Because I know I've opened up all of the tutorials on him. Or most of them. Some of them are specific, like the go into cover for a smuggler or agent and stuff like that. So, the wrong button. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a much bigger list. Let's see. Galaxy map, taxis, dangerous environments. That's all going to be the same. See if we can find any that seem to be outdated here. This one's interesting. It still exists as a system, but the tutorial itself is still using the old graphics. So where was that? Light side, dark side. So this was the old bar. And then the flashpoints. Yeah, I don't know. Crafting augments. Same thing here. This is using old graphics, but the system still... Okay, this is the classic one. Okay, so this tutorial no longer applies. As a subscriber, when you reach level 10, you can learn how to pilot the speeder bikes and other ground vehicles. Free-to-play players can learn this pilot and speeders at level 20. Before you can pilot a speeder, you have to acquire speeder piloting ability from your class trainer. Earlier access to speeder piloting ability may be purchased in the Legacy panel. That's still true, but this part is not. There was a time in the early game that you had to buy all of your skills, and this one was expensive. Now, it's funny to look at this. They've got this at 35,000. You would see players running around that didn't have enough credits to buy this. And so this tutorial actually is about like, hey, this is coming. Like, this would pop up before you got there and try to give you a warning like, hey, if you want this skill, you need to start saving your credits, right? Just to give you an idea of how much different the economy was in the early game. Speeders and other vehicles are expensive, so you should start saving credits now, or you can click on the cartel market icon next to the menu bar and purchase one using cartel coins. So this is definitely an outdated tutorial. Most of this doesn't apply. You get speeder piloting for free now. You don't have to buy that. So So yeah, anyway, so it doesn't look like they've updated these, but I'm guessing what they have updated is, like, if you use where were we? Outdated tutorials from Knights of the Fallen Empire chapters. So it's very specific there. Single lightsaber companion damage. That's good. I didn't know that was even a bug. Missing tooltips for crew skills and companion buttons. So again, most of this is bug fixy things, right? Crew skills profession names are now fully displayed in the crew skills window. Okay. I didn't know if that was a thing. French localization. The following deprecated decorations can be removed from the decorations window. So there you go. The starship hook outside of Mechshaw hideout stronghold is now visible. Okay, so this one I have not checked yet. So if you were with me last week, we decorated our Mechshaw stronghold. So you'll notice that it's 18% complete. So let's jump over there. And we might have a new hook that we did not have before. So the starship, what did it call it? The relocated the Mechshaw hideout stronghold directory. Starship hook outside of the Mechshaw hideout stronghold is now visible and interactable. So where would that be? I don't see anything over here. So it might be out back. Let's go look out back. I don't see anything here. That's not a... don't think that is a... yeah, that's a centerpiece, so it's not a starship. Starship hooks are huge. Alright, well, let's keep looking. Or is there some place in the Mechshaw stronghold that I have not gotten to? I always felt like there should be like this hidden area, and I hadn't found, but I've dug through and just haven't been able to find it. So let's go upstairs. Because it says it's now visible and interactable. Don't see anything over there. There it is. So that did not exist before. See, that feels like we should be able to get there. Okay, well, let's look at it first here. So let's show available. So I can put... what do I have that we can put there? We can put a large terrarium. We got our Mando shuttle. So these are the really, really, really big items, right? So let's find something that looks like it should fit there. Ooh, a sun machine reactor. We might put one of those. Let's go back to the first page. That can fit into a lot of places. Alright, so we got the Iocath generator. Let's see what that looks like. You can see, again, you can just see how big that is. Jedi doesn't fit. I don't know how big that is. Yeah, that probably will fit into a large hook. Thinking the sun shield thing, or the sun generator, might be the way to go. Let's place that. How big is that? Alright, let's start with that. Now the question is, like, it feels like I should be able to get out there. Like, is that part of the hook? Hold on, let's check something here. Or is that part of the... yeah, see? There's a hole. Like, that looks like an entrance. Alright, let's do some exploring. So first off, can I just jump down there? Nope. That did not work. Okay, but we should be able to see it from here. Alright, let's get out here and look. Like there's like this hole, but it's down. Is there any way? I don't think there's any travel points. Nope. Alright, let's go back inside. Don't think there's... Operator 1X. Who is Operator 1X? Is that, oh, that's that guy. I don't see any elevator controls. Like I said, when I first got this stronghold, I went everywhere kind of looking for a place. Like this feels like a stronghold that there should be like a hidden area type of thing. Alright, let's go out back. Again, no hidden entrances or... I'll get myself stuck. There we go. Like that almost feels like a garage door, right? Yep, not seeing anything back here. And it would be over there. It's a blinky thing. Because it's over on that side. So I don't think it would be over here. Like I thought this little area looked like hey, that looks like a hidden entrance to something. But nope, I haven't found a way through there yet. And that's just going to go back into where we were. Yeah, I don't think you can get down there. This is the classic. If anybody knows, like, oh yeah, there is a secret spot. Throw it in the comments. Like I said, I haven't been able to figure out. Now there are other strongholds that do this where you can place a thing, but you can't actually get to that spot. So I'm not saying that is, you know, because you can place something there, you can get to it. But like I said, it just by looking at the stuff over here. But on the other side, like if we look at our map, it's not showing any doors or anything. Like if we go through everything here, that's not even working. I'm not seeing a way even on the map to get down there. So anyway, but the patch note was that hook now works. So, alright, so even here, that's that inside kind of stage area. That's the back door, right? That goes up. And we've seen that map, so I guess we could try to jump from here, but I don't see anything we're gonna land on. It's gonna get us over there. It sounded like we landed that time, but it still killed us. And again, I don't see it as like the way to get there would be to fall off the map. So, but the hook is there now, so that's kind of cool. Like to me, it feels that's lower. It feels like if there was a way to get down there, there'd be an elevator somewhere. And I haven't found it. And if we look at the, you know, there's no expansions available, so it's not like I haven't unlocked something. So yeah. Again, if anybody knows if I'm missing something, please throw it in the comments, because I have not found anything. Or at least nothing that is so obvious that it should be easy to find. So, all right. So Starship Hook relocated the Mechshaw hideout stronghold directory. That's just how you get to other people's strongholds. Master of Banana achievement can now be completed if the Master of the Seas requirement was done before 711. What is the Master of Manan achievement? I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if we can find it. We'll start with locations. Manan. Mission dailies. Wavebreaker. Is there anything listed there? Don't see anything. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that is. Master of a non-achievement can now be completed if the Master of Seas requirement was done before 7.1.1. I still think that's a fix. It's like one of those... It sounds like if you got an achievement early, it was breaking the advancement, but I'm not 100% sure which one that one is. Okay, let's see. Next section is Cartel Market. Fixed animations. All players can now use the following mounts. Ambitious Warrior Chest Guard icon now matches the in-game appearance. So this is item fixes. I don't see anything there that is, unlocking things in collection. Again, more bug fixes. Okay, items and economy. Daily resource matrices have been removed from the game. They have been replaced by conquest accommodations at or an equal value. Accommodations awarded from the group finder role in need increase up to 15 from 5. You're going to see this kind of rebalancing in this whole section. Increase the weekly caps. We'll talk about this in a second. Increase weekly cap, increase weekly cap, increase weekly cap. Then they've changed these currencies. Essentially, this is just removing the daily resource matrices out of the equation, right? So this whole section is kind of designed on that. So let's take a look. Do I have any gear that needs upgrading? Probably not, but we'll see what we can find here. So I think you needed those on the implant vendor. So if we look at the implant vendor, you'll notice that it just takes tech fragments and conquest accommodations now. I don't think I have any gear. Yeah, I can't upgrade, but let's just do this. We'll just buy...
Nice to see customers. Can I get you anything?
We'll buy one of these. I think I can get those back. If not, it's just 10 conquests. Yeah, I have 2 hours.
Feel free to browse.
So now if I look over here, I can upgrade this thing. It takes the item itself. Then it takes 25 conquest accommodations and 21,500 credits. I think that used to take daily resource matrices. So conquest gear vendor, to purchase gear, conquest accommodations and credits. To upgrade gear, conquest accommodations and credit. I think there used to be daily resource matrices in there. Flashpoint gear just takes, this is just a simplification. From a game development standpoint, what you had here is you had a Flashpoint currency, a Warzone currency, an operations currency, and a conquest accommodations currency. Then you have a global currency of tech fragments. You had this other global currency of daily resource matrices, and it was a little bit annoying. Let's say you wanted to upgrade your let's go to this one, right? You want to upgrade your Flashpoint stabilizer, and you had the Flashpoint stabilizers, you had the credits, but you were short on daily resource matrices. It gets annoying when you had all these multiple currencies in place to try to upgrade stuff. Now, I found myself capped on them all the time. So the problem would become is like, well, there was a low cap, which means I'd spend them all. Now I had to go get more of those to do the upgrade. So I like this change. I think it's a good change. Let's go ahead and should be able to sell this back. We'll see if I lost anything. Yep, I got my conquest combinations back.
Feel free to browse.
The other change that it lists here is these in here, right? So we've increased some caps and stuff. So let's take a look at that. So tech fragments hasn't changed. I wish they would raise that. So let's do a disclaimer here. My personal play style is very horde driven. I like to hoard currencies. I like to have lots of things. So my preference would be to raise all these caps. Let me have 100,000 of these if I want them, right? Now, there is a downside to that. What people do is they hoard up a bunch of resource so that when let's say they raise the level cap and raise the gear cap, you can just buy everything instantly. That can cause problems with your player base because now players will do that and then they'll say, well, there's no new content and I'm bored. It's like, well, that's because you cheese the system. So I get it, but I do have that. So this number did go up because they took this daily resource matrices. And you notice I have 0 now. I had a bunch of these. They converted those 1-to-1 into conquest commendations. Let's move this a little bit so it does. It's still getting in the way. Anyway, so this cap used to be lower. I think it was 2,000, 2,500, something like that. They also raised these weekly caps. Now, a lot of people will look at this and say, this doesn't make any sense. Why is the weekly cap 6,000 and the overall cap 4,000? And you'll notice this on all the currencies. The weekly cap, the number that you can get per week, is higher than the total number you can have. Well, the reason they do this is these currencies, they want you to use them as you're getting them, right? The system is designed so it's like, let's say you're not maxed out on your gear. Hold on, pardon me. Sorry, a cough creeped up on me there. So you're not completely maxed out on your gear. So you go and you run your dailies and you get some resources and you come to the vendor, you upgrade that, and then you run some more and you upgrade and you run some more and you upgrade. You could get 6,000 in a week, but as long as you're spending them at a similar pace, you're never going to hit this other cap. So their system is designed to not be max out your weekly and it's going to contribute towards a bigger total. So I would argue they should probably at least make them the same, but this is the choice they made. So all these got rolled in. So if you had daily resource matrices, they became conquest accommodations. So I'm getting close on that one. I'm going to have to spend some of those as well. I'm usually just using these to gear up alts anymore. I'm getting really close on that one as well. So that is the change there. All right, so that's what this whole section is about here. All right, transferring credits between players through mail or direct trade is subject to the fee of 8% of the credits being transferred paid by the sender. The transfer of some high-value items. Let me get myself back to my stronghold. Notice it says some. We're going to play around with this a little bit. Through mail or direct trade is subject to credit fee based on its value. We're going to take a look at that as well. Paid by the sender. These fees do not apply when sender characters on the same account. What that means is if you're sending stuff to your alts, they don't charge you this fee. Remove the tax evasion. So this is all economy-based stuff. So I'm going to switch characters here. And we're going to do some testing on this. I played around with it a little bit, but not a ton. So some of this stuff I'm going to figure out live as we go. All right, so I'm going to grab my imp character. And what I've done is I've just thrown a whole bunch of items of different things in his inventory so that we can kind of take a look at this. All right, everybody say hi to Wivister. Unfortunately, Wivister is actually not with us. I've just logged into his account. Okay, so let's kind of talk about what this is. The 8% tax. If I sell something on the GTN, like if I'm going to sell this treasure hunting item, right? I'm going to click on that. I've got some others for sale here. I can set a price. It's going to make me deposit money. Now, this is based off how long I want to list it. So let's say I'm going to sell this for $500,000, right? That deposit goes in. If I'm going to sell this for $25 million, that deposit also goes in. Now, that doesn't mean that this is just a deposit. It's to keep you, I think, from using this as storage. This deposit is based off of the value of what it is you're trying to sell. So, for instance, if I sell this, this is 40. That one's 186. That one's 19. That one's 47. That one's 6. That one's 200. So they've got this calculation in place, and these are way small. We'll take a look at that, because if you look at the patch notes up here, this 8% fee, that is what the current GTN is using. That got raised at one point. It used to be, I think, 6%, and they raised it to 8%. But this has been in place for a long time. So if I go to sell something, so on this character, I'm selling these companion mission things, and I've got a bunch of them in here. So that exists. Now, if I go from different ones, you'll notice these are all essentially rated the same, right? No matter which one I'm trying to sell, that deposit's the same. Now, the percentage will be based off of what I sell it for. So if I sell something for $500,000, I'm going to get charged 8%. So there'll be a 40,000 credit fee that I have to pay. This is another gold sync. But what that means is I get back like the 200 or in this case 310 will get taken out of that 40,000. But I would essentially get back, 460? 460,000 credits off of my 500,000 credit sale. Now, if I sell this for, again, like 25 million, I'm going to get charged 2 million for that sale. And I'm going to do this the in my head way, which means I'm going to get 23 million. That one I probably could have done in my head. So that's how the GTN works. The GTN has a couple of issues with the inflation. One, you can't sell anything over 1 billion credits, which is just crazy, but that is a truth. But also, if you are selling high level things here, right? Like high valued stuff. So for instance, let's say I sell something for 750 million credits. I'm going to get charged 60 million credits. So what players have figured out is, like, for these really high level items, instead of selling them on the GTN, let me just go, I'll advertise it in the trade channel, which exists. And I'll just say, hey, I'm selling this for 750,000 credits. And somebody says, yeah, I want that. We meet up, we do a trade, and you get all that money. That's 60 million more credits that you get. Okay, so what they have done is, we look at the patch notes, they have implemented the 8% fee on trades and mail. So what I'm going to do is we're going to trade with Wivister here. So this is the secure trade. Let me accept it on his account. There we go. So I'm going to go through some that I have seen. Now, remember, they said they have implemented this on some items. So, for this one, you notice there's no fee. For any of these. Oh, I am disconnecting. So, all right, let's go back to. We'll go back to the screen for right now while I crash. Let's see. The transfer of some high value items through mail or direct trade is subject to credit fee based on the value paid by the sender. Now, this is an interesting way of doing this, or an interesting way of listing it. Based off of the value isn't the value that they list it on the GTN. It's new data based off of inflation that they've kicked in. And so we'll take a look at that. So this is another, I've talked about this before, this server-side disconnect. I'm hoping AWS fixes it, but it's not I don't think it's my connection, because if I look over Wivister's account, which is literally, I'm sitting looking at it right now, did not have this problem. He didn't disconnect. So, all right, I'm back. Okay, so let's go back. We'll start another secure trade with Wivister. Accept on his side. There we go. Okay, so these items, you'll notice no fee, no fee, no fee. Is there a fee on that one? Okay, so that one does have a fee. So we'll take these out. So this one is going to charge me 16,000 credits to send it to Wivister. Now, if I'm selling that to him, that makes a lot of sense, right? Like if he's over there and be like, oh, I want that box so bad, I'm going to give you 100,000 credits for that. Now, a couple of things are happening here. One, you notice I get, if we made this trade, I would get the 100,000. It would cost me 16,000. This is very similar to, oh, wrong one. There we go. To how the GTN works. You know, it's just charging. Now, what's interesting, though, is you notice this fee doesn't change based off what I'm making. So on the GTN, the 8% is charged on how much you sold it for. This is based off of their formula of what they think this thing is worth. This would be horrible. These slicers cases, I don't think I ever get more than about 4,000 or 5,000 credits out of these. So this would be a horrible sale, and I guess unless Wivister is willing to pay 100,000, then he made the mistake. So you'll notice that is a set fee. Now, what's interesting here, and I'm not sure if this is by design or an unintended consequences, is as I look over at Wivister, he put in 100,000. He also has to pay an 8% fee. So this is going to cost him 108,000. So there's 16,000 coming out from me, 8,000 coming out from him. So this is the thing. Now, what does that mean? There is a calculation you can do if you ever want to know the math on the 16,000. So we've got the 16,000 is the fee. If you multiply that by 100 and then divide it by the percentage, so in this case 8%, that means they have valued this case at 200,000. A quicker way to do that, if you do the math of 100 divided by 8, will give you 12.5. So I can say, okay, 16,000 fee times 12.5. That'll give me the 16,000 is 8% of 200,000 is what that means. So we're going to do some of these calculations here just to kind of look at what the developers have said some of these things are worth. Now, what's interesting, you know, like I said, if credits are involved, you're still getting charged 8%. So right now, if we did this trade, we would make no money and both of us would pay 8%. So it would cost 16,000. Okay, so let's clear out the Wivister trade. We'll clear out our trade. Okay, so I haven't gone through a lot of these. Okay, so Warzone items, they evidently don't consider high value. What about this? That's another 16,000. So they've got this schematic valued at 200,000. All right, here we go. 168,000. Now we're getting into some stuff. So we're going to say 168,000 times 12.5. So they have said this legendary Ember is worth 2.1 million credits. Now, I'm not sure where they're pulling this from. Different servers have different economies. I know that these do sell. You'll sometimes see them, especially here recently. The last month or so, something hit where things have dropped in price. whether it is the early economy stuff, whether it's just the player base is a little skittish because stuff is coming. I know a lot of the stuff I sell on the GTN has dropped to about half of what it used to sell for. But yeah, I've seen these sell from anywhere between $1 million and $3 million. So this is probably pseudo close. All right, so we did that. This is a guild thing. You can trade these, so that has no value. So these are companion gifts. So again, what this means is it's not going to cost me anything to trade these. If Wivister puts money in, it's still going to cost him 8%. I got a rat ghoul vaccine up here. I've got a med unit. Nothing there. A crystal. Okay, we got a 24,000 crystal there. That's not horrible. Times 12.5. They've got that valued at 300,000. I don't know how much that one would be worth. A couple of... Okay, here we go. We're getting into some big money now. All right, so this minor experience boost... they've got it 1.2 million. All right, so they've got this minor experience boost at 15 million credits as its value based off this transaction. Let's go to the GTN. Minor experience boost. We don't want the class one. Exploration. Class, Warzone, Exploration, Flashpoints. There's one for sale. All right, somebody is selling that for 25 million credits. What did I say our calculation was? 15 million? I honestly didn't know that. I don't know if that's accurate. There's only one listed, it looks like. I only saw one. Let's sort by name. Minor Warzone. Oh, minor. Yeah, that's Warzone. Warzone. Space. Flashpoint. Class. There you go. Minor experience. Yeah, I only see one, and it's selling for 25 million. All right, let's check this one. Major experience boost. Okay, it looks like we have a little more data to go off of here. 55 million, 57 million, 57, 55, 58, 75. Okay, this is eye-opening to me because I didn't think these things sold for this much. Okay, let's get this opened back up. Let's see if I can do both of these at once. Nope, I didn't think so. Okay, so if I try to send this to Wivister, that is 3.88 million. 880,000. Okay, they've got those at 48.5. It, again, seems to be fitting. This one's a little bit of a surprise to me. I've got so many of these, I don't even think of them of having value. I didn't even consider selling them. So if I go into my stronghold here, like I've got a stack of 131 of those and 85 of those, so that's scary. What was it? The 25 million? 25 million times 131. So that's, I could sell it. I don't know if they sell for that or not, but that's 3 billion credits. We'll take out the fee. Yeah, that's 3 billion credits of experience boosts. And some of these probably sell for less. These are all the specific ones. Not to mention the 85 that I have of, what were those, like 50 million-ish? Times... Yeah, another 4 billion. So 4, 5, 6. Again, if they would sell, that's more credits than I think those are worth. But I guess if people are paying for it. All right, what else do we have in here? I think we did these. Those don't have any trade value. Gone through those, gone through those, gone through those. That's a pretty big one. So that's a Flagship Plans command. So let's take a look at that. That is 559,920. They got that valued at just under 7 million. Probably okay. These used to sell on the low end for 10. People would list them higher, but I don't think they sold a lot. Again, the economy on these is kind of dropped a little bit. Now you can find Flagship Plans, the blue ones, usually somewhere in the... you can find them for 3 million now. You'll see them mostly in the kind of the 4.5 to 8 million range. So this is maybe a little on the high side for the current, but in the old days, like when I was trying to get my Flagship Plans, I would buy anything if it hit 10 million, because that was kind of the low end. But again, the economy has changed here recently. So that's interesting. The purple ones, I don't have any purple ones. Those sell for, they used to sell for right around 500 million. So it's 10 million times 50, because it takes 50 blues to make a purple. So I would buy those at 500 million. You see those in the high 300 millions now. So that has also dropped. Okay. I'm curious on this 159. Okay. This is actually kind of cool. I was wondering if they were going to set these all the same. So these are just different companion missions, right? So we've got bio. We're missing archaeology. I don't have an archaeology. We've got diplomacy, investigation, scavenging, treasure hunting. There is it underworld trading? There's another one. There's a slicing. But what is interesting is on the GTN, these actually do sell for different amounts. So if we go through and we say bio, so you're going to see bio selling for 5 to 6, whereas diplomacy is 1.5 million. I've seen those as low as into the 500,000. Investigation usually doesn't sell that well. Yeah, so that one's at 300,000. What's our highest one right now? 1.7. Bio and archaeology tend to sell for high. Holy cow, those are really cheap. I might end up buying those at some point if they don't. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of these. So we're going to start with the bio. Now notice if I try to sell this, it lists the buyout price at 6,975. That is nowhere near accurate. Again, these are all going for 5. These used to sell for 10 million. I sold a ton of these at 10 million. You'll see them drop down to about 3. So 3 to 5 is kind of where these are going. But if I try to trade this, oops, let's put that one over there. It's saying 159,999. I think that's really interesting. So 159,999 times 12.5. So they've got this valued at about 2 million, which is probably a little bit low. Whereas if we go to our, let's search for our, oh, not just, we want investigation. Yeah, investigation. And again, these are just the grade 11s, the lower grades. So that one's at 299. Take that out, put this one in. So that's at 39,999. I think it's funny that they have it's the old store thing where it's like, hey, this isn't $20, it's $19.99 to get people to buy it. Okay, so 39,999 times 12.5. So 500,000. That's, yeah. I mean, I think that's a decent price. So again, the difference here is if this person is selling this for 299,000, which is their current price, they are going to get charged 23,920 because again, the 8% is charged off what it sells for, not this predetermined value. unless they have changed that in this patch. I haven't seen any patch notes on that, but that is how the GTN has worked for a long time. The way the trade works is they pre-decided these values, and you're getting charged off of that. I think I would rather see it. I'm like on the fly thinking this through. I think I would rather see it based off of what you sell it for. So if I'm trading with Wivister here and he's going to give me 100 credits for that, and Wivister just timed out because of inactivity, then I would pay the 8 credits, right? Like, I think they didn't do it that way. My gut is to try to keep that from being exploited, especially because both sides have to pay the fee. Like, I think what you would see is like, okay, I will sell it to you for X or Y, then transfer me the rest of the money, so we're not paying as much of a fee. I don't agree with the way it currently seems to be working. Is if I trade with Wivister here again, and I sell him this thing, I'm going to get charged $272,000, which is, let's get the math on this. So 272, at least that one's not 999. So it values that at 3.4. That's a little high. Those used to sell really high, the slicing ones. They're down to about $1 million now. So if Wivister puts in, okay, cool, I'm going to give you 3.4 million credits for that. 3.4. Wivister does not have 3.4 million credits on his character, so this is not a good example. But if he put that in, he's going to get charged, the 272,000. So it's going to be 200. It's always going to be the same, I guess. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to pay a 272,000 fee. He's going to pay a 272,000 fee. So this transaction is going to cost us 544,000. So one of two things is happening here. One, they didn't think about that. They just applied if you're transferring money, it's an 8% fee. If you're transferring items, it's an 8% fee. Both parties pay that fee. It could be by design. The whole point of this is to combat inflation and take credits out of the economy. And that's a quicker way of taking credits out of the economy, right? Taking out both of us paying this 272,000 fee. If that's the case. Now, it could be an oversight where they're like, oh, we didn't think that both sides would have to pay the fee. So I don't know on that one. Let's go ahead and take that out. I think we've gone through all the items. Now, there's also, this is applied to mail. So let's find, do I have Wivister in here? There's Wivister. And let's say I want to do that same slicing thing. So first thing you'll notice, there is a 10 credit fee. If I want to send Wivister 100 credits, the fee is now 108. So there's a 10 credit fee for just sending a mail. There's a 100 credit fee for sending, I think, anything in the mail. So let's take this away. This is a bug, I think. You notice that, oh, there, it finally reset. Maybe it's because I just didn't zero it out correctly. Let's look, 100. Yeah, until that goes to 0. Okay, so back to the 10 credit fee. If we go back to an item that didn't cost anything, you'll notice this doesn't have a fee. There is the standard, if you send something, money, items, it costs 100 credits. That's a base cost. So this is going to cost me 100 credits. If I added money to this, there's the 8% fee. So 100 credits times 8% is 8. So this is going to cost me the 100 credits that I'm sending, a 100 credit fee for sending stuff, and an 8% on this 100 credits, but not an 8% on this because that item doesn't have this applied to it. Okay, so based off of that, let's put the slicing one here. Let's hold on. Let's get there we go. So there's our 272,000. That was the same as the trade. That's the 8% on the perceived value of this item, plus the 100 credits that I get for just sending an item. So if I just wanted to send this to Wivister, it's like, hey, Wivister, you're my friend. Here's an item. Go ahead and grab. You can have it. I don't need it. It's going to cost me 272,100 credits to do this. This is in my opinion, a flaw in this system. You know, I think they're trying to combat the sales aspect of it, and I think that makes perfect sense. But this part of it is, I can't just be friendly to a newbie now without it costing me money. Same thing. If I meet a new guild character or a new friend that's going to play, and we meet up, and I'm like, hey, Wivister, thanks for joining the game. Oh yeah, you need some money? Sure. I'll send you 1,000,000 credits. Well, that's going to cost me 80,000 credits. Now, honestly, is that a big deal? Probably not. Obviously, if you start sending, I've only got 64 million on this character, that'll start costing some money. But if I was just hooking up a friend with 1,000,000 credits, if I can afford to send him 1,000,000 credits, I can afford to send him 1,080,000 credits. So I don't know if it's a huge problem. Can we get around this? Probably. I haven't tried this yet, but let's say Wivister is in my guild, right? So Wivister's in the guild. If he has guild bank access, I should be able to put this in here. And yeah, it doesn't cost me anything. And then Wivister can come and take it out. So I guess this is a way to help each other out. And I just thought about this. I wonder if they put the 30-day you can't access the guild bank to keep people from creating a trade guild. And the trade guild works by like, okay, we're going to trade this high valued item. Deposit the money into the bank, right? So I can deposit, I'm going to pay 1,000,000 credits for this, right? Let's get the right number of zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 6. That's 1,000,000, right? So I deposit 1,000,000 credits into the guild bank, and then they put the item in here, and then the person takes the item out. I have just done a sale with no fees. So I could create a guild that is just a black market transfer guild, and it's like, okay, I will facilitate trades through the guild. Both players go in, probably set it so that you could deposit credits but not remove credits. And so one side deposits the credits. Once that's verified, the other side puts the item in. You pull the item out. You then allow the seller, to get the credit. I think there could be a way to exploit that. And so that might be why, and I'll give them credit for this if they thought this through, that might be why they added that 30-day you can't access the guild bank thing. I'm going to explore this a little bit more, probably off stream. I've got some free accounts, but I don't think they have guild bank access. I'll have to figure out a way to get an account that's not in the guild. That I think my oldest son's account isn't in the guild. Invite him in because he's preferred, and see if he has guild bank access, and if I up his rank, does he gain that or not in the first 30 days. So I'm gonna play around with that. But that patch note, that 30-day guild bank access, might be an anti-exploit strategy to keep people from doing what I just kind of did, right? All right, I'm gonna take my 1,000,000 credits back. Is that 1,000,000? Yep. So again, all these transactions I just did, depositing this, taking it back out, none of this has cost me anything. Now, the other good side about this is if you are in an established guild and you want to help your guild mates, being able to do it without transaction fees is kind of nice. It is going to change some guild behaviors, though, I think. So like in a guild I'm in on another character, they collect these, where's it at? Did I put one in here? I thought I did. There we go. These reinforcement modules. These are used for guild perks and stuff. Okay, you can trade those for free. So that hasn't changed anything. Because a lot of the guild people are just like, just mail this to me. So if we open up our mail, that also should not cost anything. Compose. I mean, it's the 100 credits, but who cares? So now, the other thing that they have said, let's go ahead and get something that costs a lot. 272,000 credits for this. If I try to send this to Wivister, it's going to charge me the 272,000. If I try to send this to a character on my account, then the fee goes away. You still have the 100 credit, you're sending something fee. Is this also true of money? Yep. So if you want to use the mail to transfer items on your own account, there is no extra free. The 8% doesn't apply, essentially, right? But as soon as I want to do this to, again, we'll go back to just Wivister or anybody that's not on my account, then those fees apply. So, all right. We missed anything here. Transferring credits between players through mail or direct trade is subject to a fee of 8%. I think we've covered that. Being transferred, paid by the sender. The transfer of some high-value items through mail or direct trade is subject to a credit fee based on its value paid by the sender. So when they say based on its value, that is, they have probably pulled the data from GTN auctions on those items and gotten some kind of an average or a mean or something like that. And that's what those numbers are coming from, right? That's why this one is wrong. Oh, that's because it's that little bug. There we go. That's why that one is 272 and that one is 39,999 plus the 100 credits. Because the value of investigation is far less than the value of that on the GTN. So I'm guessing they have pulled some data and created an algorithm based off that. These fees do not apply when sending two characters on the same account. They only have that bullet under the items, but that also seems to be working, on this as well. So there's our 80,000 fee. And if we send it to Bellatricus, that fee goes away. So that's true. And then remove the tax evasion perk. That's just to make it so the guild doesn't take away all of this stuff with that tax evasion perk. Okay. Think we've covered everything there. Again, if you have any questions on how this new system works, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to talk through, answer questions. But for the most part, basically is if you're sending big amounts of stuff, it's going to cost you 8%. That's really the too long didn't read version. Some items and credits. If you're in a guild, you can get around that by using the guild transfer mechanisms. So some guilds might have to rework how they do that particular part of things. But it's the same as what the GTN was. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to the patch notes here. Remove tax evasions. Okay, Executioner's Lifesavers now correctly appears on the GTN subcategory. Again, these are just more bug fixes. When they say GTN subcategory, you can pick in here. You can pick weapons. There should be a weapons, or is it melee weapon? Yep. And then subcategories, double-bladed lightsabers. So it was just, that's a data entry error, usually. If it's not showing up in the right thing. Now correctly appears in the lightsaber GTN, so it would be that section right there. So that's just a fix. The following decorations from the Mandalorian Rebels personal bundle can now be sold on the GTN. I don't know if they were just bound or something like that, but they've changed that. Fix the visual effect of the Master Lightsaber, visual effect fix. Can't use these in PvP, Honorary Bouncer's Badge, Dantooine Achievement. I don't know if I have Yarvik's Gratitude on this character or not. I know that Zax has it, so we might have to pop over to him. Let me see. Don't think I've ever bought it for this guy. Yeah, I'm not even going to dig through that. All right, we'll take a look at that here in a second. The following belt no longer stretch when equipped with the remote outcaster's goggles. Again, that's just more of a fix for things. Nomad chestplate no longer clips. Wasteland tech helmet no longer stretches. Fix several typos within the game. Hand warming item description. Vanguard. Plasma Tech's mod. Okay. Let's see, do I have Yarvik's in his inventory or not? I do. Okay, so what these are their special items. So here's the Yarvik's Gratitude one. It turns you into this like gold thing. This was another credit sink. This costs you millions and millions of credits, hundreds of millions of credits, to eventually get it on Dantooine. So they've just turned that off for PvP. I'm not sure how people were abusing that, but somebody was abusing it. Assign the value vendors will pay for some items, or adjusted the value vendors will pay for some items. So I think a lot of the vendor prices and things like that they're so out of date that I think they're just updating that to help fix the economy stuff as well. I don't know. Do I have... Let's see if they fixed the one that drives me crazy. This one here. Oh, nope. I just want to preview it. There we go. Oh. Have they fixed this? Oh, I think so. Oh, this makes me so happy. I really enjoy this armor set. Nope, they did not fix it. It's the belt, I think. Yeah, it's the belt that's broken. Okay, I love this armor set, and I guess you could run it without the belt. But the belt on this armor set, that's new. I don't remember that being there before. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a second. I also don't remember seeing that in the patch notes, but okay, let's get back in here. So you'll notice this armor set. Let's get him standing back up here. No. Put your weapon away. There you go. I like this armor set. The hat, not so much, but the belt has an issue in that... See this little canister? It's supposed to be down here. Now, it's interesting because it's only broken on at least male 3. Like, I don't know if this will work. Nah, I can't. If you're a different body type that's not number 3, it actually works. So I've got that on some of my other characters. So that disappoints me. Probably the origin point on this model is broken, and because it's a different body type, it's technically a different model. So again, I could just eliminate the belt and still run the armor, but disappoints me. But that's the kind of fixes that when you see things like this, where the belt no longer stretches, this no longer, it's them fixing that kind of stuff. The other one, we saw some typo fixes. Let's see if they fixed this one. They did not. So, mission discovery slicing versus the other mission discoveries. The slicing has 3 S's in it. It's a typo, right? It's been that way for as long as I can remember. Whereas the other ones are actually spelled correctly. Mission is spelled correctly. So, again, it's a typo, and it just hasn't been fixed. So that kind of stuff does exist. Okay, the next section we're going to go through relatively quickly, and then we're going to go back and look at that other thing, the character customization. So combat styles, updated various tooltips for clarity and readability. The second combat style unlock mission is now correctly removed. If the player status changed from premium to preferred, so subscription to preferred, preventing them from getting stuck in the mission. Fix an issue where the class passive tooltips of Jedi combat style players were not displayed in German. So combat styles is the... You can unlock the second one here. I haven't bothered on this character. But that's only for subscribers. So they've kind of cleaned that up. The whole next section, I'm not going to go through point by point. These are just balance changes. So, Power Tech and Vanguard, Mercenary and Commando. So Mercenary and Commando are the same class. It's just the Imperial side versus the Republic side. So you're going to see the changes are the same. They just changed to different names because the skills are named different, but they do the exact same thing. Operative, Scoundrel, Sniper, Gunslinger, Assassin Shadow, Sorcerer, Sage, Marauder, Sentinel. Did they make no changes to Juggernaut or Guardian? I don't think I saw any. So one class didn't get updates, it looks like. Make sure I didn't miss it. Yeah, I don't see it in there. Well, the class did. Marauder and Sentinel are specializations of the warrior and the knight, but the tanky side didn't get changed. So, all right, looks like we have some just, again, these are mostly glitches, bug fixes. Enemies don't get stuck in tree trunks. When I saw the Salt on Tython, I think that's the one flashpoint we didn't get by. I was hoping to see something like we changed the boss we couldn't get by, but nothing there. Kadamimu, Kaon, Ruins of Null. That could be good since we haven't done that one yet. Operations, there's a fix there. Some mission changes here. And again, we're not going to go through all of these. Usually these are just glitches or bug fixes that fall into here. Arenas and war zones, this is a good change, and we'll see this hit for season 3. They've upped these defender points. They've upped the attacker points for capturing. All of this kind of stuff will help get medals, right? This is designed to make hitting that 7 medal thing easier. Because you get these currencies or these sub-currencies inside the fight a little bit quicker. Again, same thing here, defender points and attacker points, and Hutball, some things there. Galactic Season 4, Notes of Reflections now has a weekly cap. I don't know if this existed or not before. It wasn't listed. So if we look at our Notes of Reflection here, this weekly cap wasn't there before. You still had a 200 cap, so it might have been possible before to just, like, as long as you were spending them, getting more than 200 a week. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it was, they fixed it. Changing combat role after changing areas no longer deactivates his 4th ability. I never came across that, but that's a very specific bug. This is one of those this is what makes game bugs and game testing sometimes so hard to do. That's a very interesting sequence of things. It's like, okay, I'm fighting on Alderaan. I then go, and it says changing areas. So is that another map on Alderaan? Is it going into an instance? Is it changing to a planet? And then I changed his combat role from healing to DPS. And now the 4th ability doesn't work. Does it always work that way? This is the weirdness of game development. And again, something can be unlocked in collections. No longer possible to change the map after it has been selected by the leader in a PvP challenge. That is not for your no more queuing PvP. That is a groups fighting each other. Let's see. Reduce the requirements for arena objectives. Now, this is interesting. These are I think for the 100-point weeklies. So earn 7 medals and 6 instead of 8. Play 12 instead of 16. win 4 instead of 6. So it looks like they've taken these down by, that's a 25% reduction, 25% reduction, 33% reduction. So these are going to make those weeklies easier to do for arenas. Let's see. Reduce the requirements for PvP arena weekly missions. 4 instead of 6. Oh, these are the dailies and weeklies. So it looks like the calculation they were using for arenas, they've just lessened that. War zones, I guess, are going to stay the same. Arenas are going to go a little quicker. There could be a couple of reasons for this. It could just be a balance thing. Maybe in the data they noticed that people were doing the war zone side more than the arenas. It could be that they just want to encourage people to do arenas. I don't know. But that's a whole change there. We've got some event changes. And fixed with the previous hotfix colorblind mode. That's something that some players were having a problem with, where the screen would just be black. I think that covers everything. We're probably not going to bother to follow into some of these sublinks. Yeah, I don't really see any anyway. Okay, let's check a couple more things out here. Go ahead and move this out of my way. There we go. All right, so things I didn't see. First off, we have, this is the console that you used to have to use to customize your character. You could also find this on Fleet. So if I want to completely change up this character, right, like I can do pretty much whatever I want, and it's going to charge me cartel coins. Once you change your change everything there, 420. Once you change this, 792. I think if you change your species, yeah, you can set this however you want. None of these are going to cost. So if you do want to make a change to your character, that this has been around forever. This isn't anything new. But what I did notice is, where did we find that? Okay, it's here. Was it also on the... It's also here. So this character customization, let's make sure you don't have to be close to that terminal. I don't think you do, but let's get away from it. That should be plenty far away. So this is now available evidently everywhere. Ooh, there's a good looking guy. There we go. I do not like that. So evidently now you can get to character customization. I don't remember this before 7.3. If it did exist, I did not pay attention to it. So that's definitely a new piece of functionality. Anything else new that they've... I don't have any companions because I'm in my stronghold. Don't see anything new there. Okay, that's kind of cool. Not sure why he made that change. I can't imagine that's something people need to do on the fly all the time. Especially because it costs cartel coins. If this was one of those that you got so many free a week, you know, and I could see role players wanting to make the change, like, hey, I went and got a haircut or something like that. But I'm probably not going to pay cartel coins for that. Let's see. Let's go to the gear tab. Anything new in here? Yeah, I don't see anything else new in these interfaces. So, if you have found new stuff in there, let me know. I can't say that I have, though. All right. I think that covers the 7.3 stuff. Again, if you have any questions on something you have found, I'll log Wivister off here. There we go. Something you found, something you're wondering about. Again, drop it in the comments. I'll follow up on anything. I'll do the research. I'll dig into something, see if I can figure out what's going on. Whether it's a bug, whether it's a change, whether it's something that you're like, hey, what's up with this feature? I can always try to find that information for you guys. Oh, right. Wow, that took a little bit longer than I thought, but hopefully it had some value on what's going on. So, what do we have? I am not digging the Galactic Seasons. I guess I've completed 3 already. They're the ones that just naturally happen. This is just meditating at a shrine. It's pretty boring. This one's just 200,000 conquest points across my legacy. That just happens. Oh no, that's the meditation on at the shrine. Oh, this is the reputation. And again, I spend 1 reputation item a day for 6 days. So those have all just kind of happened. We've got some GSF. If you're into GSF, a couple of world bosses, lair bosses, which are pseudo world bosses. That's group content, though. This one you could do solo. You have to go on Republic and Empire and just find these named NPCs. I normally just look them up on the web and do those. This isn't like killing the turrets and stuff like that. So a lot of groupie based content. Again, GTM, it's technically group, but you can do that solo. We do have 15 missions as a trooper or agent. So we'll do some stuff on our trooper, and we'll knock that one out for sure. Seeking artifacts. This one isn't too bad. What planets do we have? Alderaan, Tatooine. Hoth isn't too bad for this one. We might run over to Hoth and knock that one out as well. So that's our 2 targets for our Galactic Seasons. That'll get us to 5. The 2 things we're still chasing is we are chasing the reputation. So we're at 57,000 out of 70,000, and we're chasing the complete weekly objectives. So we're at 77, so we only need 23 more of these. So I'm not too worried. If we get 5 a week, we'll be fine. So if anybody's in the chat and has a preference, let me know. This is another thing that I'm kind of chasing. This is the heroics on Runic, which I haven't finished. I'm at 42. I haven't done any this week. You can do these daily, but so I think we'll do that first. So let's go ahead and we'll cheat our way over there. See if they've changed any of these travel costs or not. How many credits do I have? 404, 225. We'll see if that changes. I don't think these cost credits. They might eventually, but currently I don't think they do. And 404, 225. Yeah, no change. All right, so we're not going to run all the dailies. I could. It'd be a way to knock out those 15 missions, but there's faster ways to do that. We'll grab this heroic. We'll grab the complete 3 heroics. Notice that they've removed the daily resource matrices out of there as well. And we'll grab that just in case anybody's doing it. We can join them. We're going to go down the elevator, grab our buffs. 2 of them just make life easier. 1 of them makes life really easier.
Mandalore wants this place cleaned out. Pick up the pace.
Sure. So this one gives us... Which one is that one? That's extra damage. This one gives us extra movement speed. I think it's like 3 or 5%. This one... That one's the key. That gives us the jump pad, repulsor pad. That one makes life tons and tons easier. The other thing I notice is I've only got 29 minutes on my stim. So let's re-stim ourselves. There we go. Now we should have 6 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. All right. Let's rock and roll. So I'm going to start over here. Yeah. So there's a certain order you do have to do things. So one of these is we have to scan some communication tower-y looking things. And this is a bug that I've seen before that cost me money. It did. Sometimes this just doesn't work. I've had it happen only from here. I don't know if it's standing next to these. I'll try always standing over there next time. There we go. So I don't know what's going on there. That's definitely a bug. Okay, so what we need isn't technically in this area. It's just in the next area. So we're going to head over there. Skip as much of the creatures as we can. Let's see if they even are going to attack us. Yep, they went aggro. Those also got upset. Try to avoid these if we can. Wow. Everything is angry with me today. Okay, they should give up here in a second. There we go. Come on, give up. There you go. Okay, I think it's right around here is a good sweet spot. There's one. And last time we were trying to find a spot to see if we can get 3. I don't think we can. Can we get anything? Nope. The other one is over here. So we get these first 2. Oh, what was I doing? I was gonna... Crap. Oh, I was gonna remove this. So all I'm going to do is just turn this off from tracking, so it's not in our list there, just to clean stuff up a little bit. Alright, so I know I can get to 2 of these. I'm trying to find a spot. So one is right there. One is right there. So those 2 are pretty easy to get to. The third one is just around one of these, is right there. So I can see that one, that one. Can I get up this? So this is just kind of exploring to see if you can get more efficient. Because if I don't have to scan from one spot, so I can see that one. Where's the one that's on? There's one up here. I think it's right there. And that one. Okay, let's see if we can see all 3 from here. I don't think so. I think we're going to be... Like, this one's the problem. You can see that one. You can see that one. We know that one's there, but we're not picking it. Okay, so let's... Can we slide over? What about if we go over here? Stand on this fruit. Or whatever it is. Did we lose our view on that one over there? Right, let's move over just a little bit. Okay, there it is. It's right on the edge there. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if that's a spot. Alright, can still get to that one. Can now get to that one. Hey, there we go. Okay, so let's kind of mentally map this spot. So let's try... We'll stand on this plant. So the second plant down. Alright, let's see if this spot works. If it is, all it does is save us from having to go in and out of this interface an extra time, but cool. So we've got this down to 2 spots to scan from. Is it a huge difference? I don't know, maybe. The difference being, like normally I would scan these 2, then I would leave this interface, then I would travel from wherever I was standing over here, just kind of down over on this side, hoping not to pull aggro to scan this last one. So this way, we don't have to fight anything, and also we don't have to move as much. When I was doing the dailies before, it didn't matter because oftentimes I was fighting these things anyway to get the items for the other missions, so I didn't think much about it. But now that we're just doing heroics, always looking for better ways to do stuff. Okay, we need tracking tags from what? Oh, we do need to kill some creatures to get the tracking tags, I think. We can do that. We can do that when we go to the waterworks, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Weak links. Okay, so now we just have to start grabbing the stuff. I don't know if this is faster than going back to the start or not. I suppose we could just do this one from the start. That might be a new way to do it. Oh, can I go in the back way? Would the back way be quicker? Let's try that. We're in experimentation mode today. Nah, that's not going to be quicker. Let's look, but there's a lot of getting there travel in this route, I think. I'm trying to avoid having to go through as much combat. We'll try it this way, though. Unfortunately, I have to do this step. Oh, got lost there. Like, we're going to make the path that we're traveling on here right now, we're going to do later. But I have to get to this item before I can finish this mission. So, yep, I'm going to pull aggro on these guys. Oh, cool. I'll get some of the tracking tags, I think, off of those guys. So that's actually maybe not a horrible thing. Here's 3 of our tracking tags. Oh. I think we're gonna need to put our companion on healing here. Alright, who do we want to run today? All HK, Koth, Lana, T7. Ooh, maybe a little vet. We could run vet. Yeah, let's run vet. See what she has to say. Hi, vet.
All better.
Alright, well, let's try to sneak by these guys. Oh, somebody's already here fighting. That might make our life easier. That means they've already cleared some of this out. Vet died. I don't see the clickies. That dude's gonna die. See if I can help him. Nope, they died. We get no credit for this, but we weren't quick enough. Let's get Vet back. Oh, I'm still in combat. Something still thinks it's attacking me. Alright, well, let's get out of here. Are you going or no? Nope, okay. I'll go through. Alright, well, we got what we needed, so we're just going to do this. Fall damage does not do damage to your armor. or a fall death. And that should put us back to where we need to go. It does. Alright, so our next stage is to... So these are the icons. Some of these mission icons. Let's see if there's any... Like these here were misscaled on the map quite often. So we'll keep an eye on that. Alright, is Vet back? She is. Ooh, scavenging. Let's grab some metal. Alright, this should be the... Yep. Well, we're just going to run through here if we can. See how quick we get knocked off our speeder.
You're good to go.
Now Vet will do what she can to keep herself alive. We want this thing here. They'll run to Vet, because Vet's creating healer aggro. So you see her health is dropping.
Galaxy's about to be down. One cute Twi'lek.
Bye, Vet. Don't see anybody fighting the world boss, but we'll pop down in here. Once you get kind of down on this bridge area, we'll drop aggro. There we go.
Good to stretch the old legs.
Don't see a world boss fight happening. Check the chat. Nobody's talking about fighting the world boss, so... Alright, I think it's on to the next. Now, we have a choice here. We can run out of here. We could also quick travel and then jump back up and go that way. Timing-wise, it's probably about the same. We'll run our way out this time. Usually I just quick travel because I'm lazy. If you don't get knocked off, this works a lot better, but you can fly by these guys.
All better.
Knockback was annoying. My map's broken. This is a bug that hopefully they get worked out as well. If you change your map on this screen, it also updates this one, and then when you come back, it doesn't update until I think you change areas and then it'll update. Alright. We are out. We'll get that back.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Vet stunned the healer, so we'll just leave him be until we're ready to fight him. Okay, let's see. We're working on this one. We still need one more of that. Okay, we're good. Make sure we don't do these out of order. Alright, let's see how Vet does. I'm not going to do the stun thing here. Let's see if Vet can keep up on the heals fighting all three. Alright, let's get their attention so they're not attacking Vet. Yeah, she seems to be doing alright. Should be good now. 1v1 with Vet healing. I guess technically 2v1, but... Yeah, she did alright. Good job, Vet. Vet and Mako. I like both those characters. Let's see, we'll do this the easy way. We'll stun the commander. So he's just over there chilling, healing, not taking any damage, not doing any damage. He's just basically removed from the fight. And this is a 60-second stun with a 40-second cooldown, which means as long as you don't knock them out of that stun, I can keep one character or one NPC stunned indefinitely. So if I am having trouble getting by an encounter, this is not a bad strategy. Now obviously there are some, especially bosses, that will have a buff or a stat that says they can't be stunned, can't be rooted and stuff like that, so it won't work on them. But as long as that's not the case, it can be a good way to lower the difficulty of an encounter. The one thing you have to watch out for is area attacks. We'll turn it off, so I will purposely, I'm going to stun this guy and then just area attack. Right now, if I area attack, it knocked him out of stun. So you do have to be careful with that. There are moves that some people forget are area attacks. For instance, I think the twin saber throw for the Marauder and the Sentinel. It not only hits the target you throw it at, but it also hits anything that's in line with it. And so, you know, if you're in a raid or something like that, and you take the time to stun one of the things, and then one of your force users just knocks them out of stun because of their saber throw. It's one of those that it's an easy mistake to make, because you get into a muscle memory, right? You get into a muscle memory of, I open with this and I hit this and I hit that, and in doing that you sometimes forget situationally that maybe that's not what you want to do. So it does turn into a focus or concentration level thing, because if you do that, you will upset your team, especially if that stun was so important that you now wiped because you knocked something out of stun and it killed the whole group. So higher in content, that can be a problem. Alright, so we're going to use a defensive here just so we can keep area attacking these guys down. Might have to use another one. Oh, I might have been able to get him there. We'll use this one. Yeah, we're fine now. So that was probably a rougher encounter than like the two elites. These 4 strongs put out a lot of damage. We'll drop our dot on the elite there. And you get knocked back here. Oh, nope, that got knocked back. Alright, we'll make Vet's life a little easier. We'll drop our defensives. When that shield drops, so I'm not worried about my health too much here, because as soon as the shield drops, I'm going to be at full health. Full-ish. There we go. Because I actually, every time they were hitting me, it was building up charges of heal. We are running out of resource here, though, so let's be a little more conservative here. So on this character, the more of these little chevron greater than symbols you have, the faster your stuff recharges. So you're better off to lighten your rotation when you get down to like 3, as opposed to pushing it all the way down to 1, because the 1 to 2 to 3 is going to take longer to recharge, so you can get back into your main rotation faster. So if you're playing, definitely high-end stuff, that makes a difference. Alright, same thing here. I think we could take this encounter, but why? Why bother? We'll go ahead and take the elite out of the fight, and we'll kill the 2 strongs, and then we'll fight the elite at the end. It's nice on this encounter that you can actually stun the elite. Sometimes this is the guy that would have the immunity to your stuns. Once these 2 guys are out, this is a pretty straightforward fight. A knockback coming? Nope, just a telegraph. So as a heroic 2 goes, this one is actually pretty easy. This one isn't bad. The only one of these that's a little bit tough is the 4. The other heroic 2 can be, we'll call it mid-range challenging, just because some of the groups you fight, and especially if you pull 2 groups, can put out a lot of damage. But the 2 heroic 2s on here aren't too bad. All right, so we have one more little clicky thing to get, and then we have to find a terminal. We discovered last time that we can just drop down here and go directly in. Which is kind of nice. Horrible AoE placement there. Should have been able to take out that other guy, and I just placed it wrong. Alright, in we go. We'll do the bonus. You don't have to. There'll be a knockback here. There it is. Again, with the normals in these fights, you notice that there's a spike in damage. That was a pretty good amount of damage that came out. Now Vet should be able to catch up. Now that we're down to just the elite. So in these fights, just be cautious. If you're a little squishier, like you're a light armor wearing DPS or something like that, I get away with a little bit because the trooper, commando, and the mercenary, the bounty hunter mercenary, wear heavy armor. They have a lot of defensives. It can make life a little bit easier. But if you are a little squishier, use some of the tactics that help. Like here, we're going to knock down these 2 normals, right? So now that's not incoming damage that we have to deal with. But you can see the spikiness. I'm going to go ahead and hit that just so we don't die. In the beginning of the fight, there's definitely a damage spike there because all 4 of them are hitting you. Even though 2 of them are normals, they're still doing damage. And with 4 people shooting you all at once, that can be an issue. I'll show you another tactic that you can use, or at least we'll try in the next fight.
You're good to go.
Especially as a DPS. Now, if you're playing as a tank or a healer, the rules change a little bit. Especially as a tank, you can take so much damage as a tank. If you have a pocket healer like we have here, and you're a tank, you're pseudo invulnerable. You just take so much less damage. Like if you shield an attack, you're probably taking 20% of the damage that you would take normally. Your healer's going to keep up. All the time you're taking about half damage in most builds. But you kill slower, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to find, let's see, are there any healers here? Nope. We're going to send Vet in first.
You're good to go.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick these off one at a time. We got that guy. I can get this guy. Now we're going to take the strong. Now through this entire time, the elite has been attacking Vet. Right? So she's taking, I'm using her health bar to buff her. Now notice in this fight, my health bar hasn't really gone down. Her health bar is going down and going back up. So by spreading the damage out across both of us, what I've done is just given us a much larger health pool to play with. Instead of all 4 of them attacking me right at once and just my health bar having to deal with that, we have another 300,000 points of health down here that was spreading out the damage. So that can be a tactic. Like I said, if you're just taking too much damage, if you run in first, and especially if you do an area attack, which I tend to do, if you run in first and do an area attack and now everything's attacking you, you're making life hard on your healer, right? Your healer's just trying to keep up with that. Probably don't need to come back and get all, yeah, we're at 8 already. So you're just making it a tougher fight. There's something there. Oh, cool, credits. This one I'm not too worried about. It's just too strong, so. And Vet stunned one of them. That's the other thing, is most companions have a stun in this, was it 5th slot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that also helps. You know, if your companion stuns somebody, how long does it last? 10 seconds. That's 10 seconds of no incoming damage from that enemy. That's not too bad. Alright, we got to grab our 3rd one of these, and that part will be done. There we go. Alright, so this fight, I'm just going to eat the damage. We're going to take the knockback here. There we go. Then we're going to group them all up here. And then we'll use our knockdown tactic, because the 2 normals get knocked down. So that's no incoming damage from them. We finish those 2 guys off. Kill the pyro here. I could probably interrupt that. Make my life a little easier. And now we're down to just the elite. So different ways, different strategies. A lot of it's just managing the incoming damage versus incoming healing. Like again, that mitigates, what does it give me? Increases armor penetration. While active, damage dealt by grab round. Alacrity. I thought it also gave me some defense. Let's see, requires convert shells like supercharged to recharge 10 energy shells. Yeah, increase armor penetration by 50% for 12 seconds. While active, damage dealt by grab round, demolition round, vortex bolt, and bolt storm grants 2 stacks of supercharged velocity, increasing alacrity by 1% per stack. This effect cannot occur more than once per second and can stack up to 6 times. I thought maybe they changed it, or maybe I'm remembering wrong. I thought that used to have also a damage reduction, but maybe I'm misremembering. Okay, what I like to do on this part of it is, you notice now it opened up all of these terminals. You can use any terminal to kick kind of the next part off. Alright, same thing. We'll knock down the 3 normals here. Take them out of the damage calculation. But as soon as you click the first terminal, it's going to error because we don't have the correct passcodes or passwords or something or other. And then you have to go and find 2 of them. And so what I normally do is I clear this group. I've tried to do it pulling both of these groups. It makes for a tough fight. I think I could probably do it, but this just tends to be easier. So I cleared this group. Make sure that we're full health, ready to go here. Now when I run back here to click this, we're going to pull aggro, but I don't care. Because now I've triggered the next part of the mission. And that is to find those passcodes. So this group could potentially drop those passcodes. So you notice Vet stunned that one over there. Now we want to kind of stay back here. I think this guy has a knockdown. We don't want to get ourselves, or knock back. We don't want to get ourselves knocked into that group over there. Now they're attacking Vet. I'm going to go ahead and leave that for now. Again, it kind of alleviates some of the incoming damage to me. Actually, you know what? Vet's at half health. We should probably, let's save Vet. So we'll pull aggro. Now over here I can see who that particular NPC is aggroing, which is back on me. Wipe them out. Vet. Now Vet, when you get to this point, you got to be a little careful because she's going to balance her heals between the two of us. She's healing herself back up as well as trying to keep me alive. That can be a problem. Right, there's the knockback about to come. So again, that's why I put my back to the wall there so I didn't get knocked into the other group. I see potentially one passcode right there.
You think you scare me?
So she's topped herself back off and kept me alive. We're doing okay. Alright, we'll grab that. Oh, might be 2 passcodes. We got both of them in that fight. Now, if we didn't get them both, we could go fight other groups as well. But we're standing right next to this terminal again, and you only have to click on one. And that completes that mission. So we're going to go back to here. Again, we could walk out, but it's just a few hundred credits, and we will get a nice quick resolution here. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing we just did a little bit ago. Is we're going to travel across that bridge up there using our repulsor lift pad thingy here. We should be able to drop aggro on all this stuff except, remember, that last group. This group for some reason doesn't aggro, which I'm not going to complain about. But I haven't been able to slip by that group. Almost fell off there. Alright, if we needed any more of those tags, we would have been able to finish them here. Oh, we did pull it. Oh, somebody's still aggroing us. Usually we drop that aggro. Okay, interesting. Let's see if... So, notice that the... Let's see if we can get him to drop. Come on, Vet, come to me. Nope. So notice how much damage Vet took. She's probably medium armor or equivalent. Whereas we can take a lot more damage. Wow. Must have pulled him from the bridge. Does it say on the companion tab? Force Tech. Armor rating 5,436. What's our armor rating? Yeah, so we have twice the armor rating that she has. Now again, this will change. Like if we put her in tank mode. Now her armor rating is 16,000, right? We put her in heal mode. It's 5,000, so a 14% damage reduction. Tank mode, a 34%, plus a third of the time, another 15%. If we put her in DPS, 7,000. So she's definitely squishier as a healer. Although a 14% damage
Nobody
reduction.
better mess with us now.
19% there. So there you go. Alright. Let's finish this heroic off. So again, with that bonus, we can just jump up here. It saves us from having to go through the tunnel system. And we'll transmit this. Another one done. I was gonna remove that, but I might run some of these later. Who knows? So we'll keep that for now. Just turn it off. All right, off to the waterworks. So this is the Heroic 4. This is the toughest of the fights that we're gonna do probably today. It is a It has earned its heroic 4. We'll see. We'll see if Vet can do it. We're going to stick with Vet. Conventional wisdom is that Zoom is the best healer. I think Zoom has bigger heals. Some of their heals just seem to hit harder, but also it's much more fluctuating, where your health will drop way down, then all of a sudden, boom, it'll go way up. Where the other healers seem to me more consistent, but maybe overall less. Don't know. I haven't done a ton of research and or testing on it. Alright, so here's our heroic 4. Last time, we tried to do this correctly in that well, I don't know if it's correctly. We killed the main guy while keeping these 2 guys stunned and stuff like that. I think that was harder to do that way. So we're going to go back to the way we do this is I'm going to stun one of these guys, and I'm going to kill the other one. Then I'm going to kill the stunned one. And then we're going to recoup, so we might leave the instance, and then we'll take the last guy. He has this little boss immunity, so immune to incapacitating, jeez, couldn't get that word out, and movement impairing effects. So that means I can't stun him, I can't root him, and stuff like that. I can interrupt him, but I can't do those other things. Otherwise, we would just stun him, kill the 2 dogs, and then fight him. So we're going to have to deal with him. So we're going to go ahead. We usually stun Bark, so let's stun Bite this time. We'll take them out of the fight, and we're going to kill the other one. And we're just going to eat whatever damage. So Vet attacked the boss. We're going to keep Vet on the boss. So that just means it's damage we're not taking. If our health starts to drop too far, I'll shoot the boss and pull aggro off of it. But this will save me from having to use any of my defenses, I think. Because again, we have these health bars. We might as well use them. Even if Vet is almost dead at the end of this fight, I'm not too concerned about it. She's going to be close. We're just going to let it happen. Come on, Vet, you can do it. Keep yourself alive. Ooh, she is healing. It's a race. I do feel bad. She's begging for me to help her, and I'm refusing. Notice my health's starting to suffer because she was just doing everything she could to keep herself alive. Alright, we're going to leave the instance. Now, I'm going to heal myself back up before I pull Vet back because I don't want her to burn through her heals healing me so I can go back in quicker. So if I'm at full health, when she comes back, she'll be at full health. And she won't pop off all these heals. And then it's like, that's 6 seconds, 18 seconds, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. I have to wait for those cooldowns. This way she didn't apply those heals to me. Okay, we're going to go back in now. And notice that the 2 guys are still dead. So we don't have to deal with him. Now, the one thing this does is you're going to see he now has 2 stacks of rage, which means he does more damage. But I have found this damage is less than trying to kill him while these 2 dogs or a stunned one and 1 dog attack me. So I think we'll be okay. We'll see how Vet does here. Alright, so we're going to open with a dot. I'm going to let my health drop a little bit here. Like, that's fun. Like, that's telling the dogs to attack. I don't mind that at all. Don't interrupt that. Alright, let's get this rolling. Because that's just time that he's not attacking me. Alright. Drop some damage on us there. So let's get a little bit focused here. Alright, so now it's just a DPS race. Can I out DPS him? And can Vet keep up on heals? I like to use this one. It does 2 things. 3 things, actually. It lowers the damage we're taking by 25%, which helps Vet. At the end of it, it drops a heal on us. And also, if you watch the timer, we'll wait till it gets down below a minute. When we take damage, so notice how it jumped 52 to 49, 47, 46, 43. So as I take damage, it actually lowers its cooldown. We'll put that on just as an emergency. That won't trigger until we get to, what is it? 35% of our health. Yep, there it triggered, so you can see the numbers kicking off. Alright, let's help Vet out here a little bit. Alright, so I'm out of cooldowns. This one will get back quick, which does mean I do have heals of my own. So when this one procs, I won't use this. This and this are linked in their proc. I'm gonna go ahead. Oops, that was a mistake, but I'm gonna use this to keep myself topped off a little bit more, just to keep us in a safe spot. I think it's every 3 of these procs that. There's the 3rd one. And so we're going to drop that heal. We'll drop this heal. Now we're in good shape now. We'll let our health drop, and then we'll hit this if we have to. Yeah, let's go ahead and play it safe. So now every shot heals me. There we go. Alright, we're up to 45, so we have two more runic runs to finish that particular thing. We've done 5 of the trooper missions out of 15. Let's see, let's check the chat. I haven't seen anybody calling out that they're running Blaze of Glory. We'll go take one more look before we leave the planet, though, just to make sure. And then I think we'll jump over to Hoth. We'll knock out the artifact mission. It's not the most exciting, but it's not too terribly hard. It's usually not a good sign. If these guys are standing here, unless the person has done what I'm about to do. Oh, nope. I thought we would be able to get through and not get knocked off. But I was feeling good there for a second. Doesn't look like anybody's fighting down there. Hey, Vet did pretty good that time. She kept herself alive. Now, eventually here, we'll drop aggro. Vet will teleport to us. And we'll be good to go. Come on, Vet. Teleport. I think she already teleported once, so we got to get... Yeah. Just notice she was standing right there. There we go. Okay, if I needed this, there is an achievement for killing Kithral here. If I needed it, I would do it. I can solo this. Oh, nope. It died. Sorry. I thought you were going to make it.
Hey.
But since I've already got the achievement, I usually don't bother. The rewards for it, if you look at it, it's an armor crate, and this is worthless to me. I just sell it because I've already maxed out reputation. So this isn't really a fight for me that's worth it anymore. Now, if a group was already doing it and I just got to join the group and we knocked it out real quick, absolutely. I'll take that free armor crate. Not a problem, but I think I'd have to time it back out. I think it was... What am I doing? Those are not what I thought they were. That's just... Grade 11 credit case. That's interesting. That's different. If I don't remember. Those are... So they said they added resource nodes to Runic That's a different way of the credit. Usually it just gives you credits, and this is actually giving us, I mean, it's Java junk. It's not overly valuable. I've got hundreds of thousands of these in different colors. But it's interesting. All right, what do we got? This is that reputation. Yeah, it's runic reputation. That's runic reputation. That's a gift. All right, we've got ourselves a decoration here. Get rid of that. Well, not get rid of it. We'll claim it. What do we have? 4 of those now. We're gonna have to set up, maybe on Tatooine. We'll have to set ourselves up like a runic decoration area. We'll go ahead and that's 320, 320. Deconstruct all of that. Check our currencies. We're okay. I don't think we're going to go over or anything. I like that we get Warzone. Occasionally you'll get Warzone stuff. You'll get Flashpoint stuff. You'll get Operation stuff. Like, I haven't run an Operation since this new system has been in place, but you still pick up some of the currency occasionally. Alright, I think that is enough of runic. Let's go ahead. Head to Hoth. So we're going to use the Hoth Heroics to travel. Doesn't cost anything that way. And Hoth was one of the planets, if I remember right. We'll double check that before we go too deep into this, but Hoth is loading slow. Wonder if something changed and had to either compile or... So we're not going to grab any of the missions. We could do the Hoth Heroics, I guess. We need missions, but... Alright, let's double check. Make sure I'm not crazy. Alderaan, Tatooine, Hoth, and Makeb. Yep. Okay, I think it is... I think it's up there. Is it up here? You would think I would remember such things. I heard a Tauntaun. It's good to see somebody actually riding a Tauntaun on Hoth. I know I get lazy and just use the same speeder all the time, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so we can check. So if you're looking for what we're trying to do here, let's face this direction. Is it up there? You can use your binoculars. There we go. And it will show you that there is a potential zone over here. Potentially valuable evacuation zone. GSI survey probe data indicates that something of value may be buried in this area. GSI seeker droids are an excellent choice for even the toughest excavations. Let's see, do I have any on me? Let's use up some... let's get our cargo hold droid here. We're going to use some of our items. I didn't wait long enough. It's a long 6 seconds. I should have, I think, stored on this guy. So these are the 2 runic items that you need for the hidden boss. We have to do that one of these days. So somewhere here, look at that. Thousands of fireworks. Where have I tucked away? It might be in the legacy hold. Must be. Alright, let's pull that one out. Alright, what we're looking for There we go. Okay, so what do we have? We've got a GSI triangulation. Let's grab one of those. We've got a major seeker droid deployment that lasts an hour. We have a minor seeker droid deployment that lasts an hour. This gives the droid 100%. Reduces the deployment time for your droid by 100%. Okay, that's 3 hours. This one lasts an hour. We'll just take the hour one. And how long does this one last? 30 minutes. We should be able to get through this in 30 minutes. These are for the bounty hunter stuff. Anything else in here that... Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. First thing we're going to do is head up and get into the seeker droid area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to show how this works. So I'm not going to hit those boosts yet. So that's a 3-second deployment. I don't know if it's 3 seconds or this whole animation goes faster. So we'll play around with that. We're going to get somewhere where we can actually see it giving us a hint onto where we need to go. And then we'll see the difference in the buffs. Okay, so see how this says it's somewhere in this 180 degrees. It could be here. It could be here. So it's a 180 degree path. So if you do multiple scans, you can kind of triangulate in on it. But what we're going to do is we're going to use these little buffs. And we're going to scan basically in the exact same space that we just were. There was no timer, so it took that 3 seconds off. That's kind of nice. It's still not here, which makes sense. But now if we look at our little triangulation thing, it should... Yeah, so here's the 180 degrees. Notice that it was a smaller cone. There might be a major one. I thought you could get that down to 25. So what we're going to do is say it was in this 180 degree arc, and it was in this arc. So basically between here and about here is where it is. So we're just going to move forward here a little bit and scan again. And so you just kind of hone in on it. So the arc being smaller just gives you less area you have to cover to try to find it, right? So we know it's in this slice over here somewhere. And we'll see if this one gives us another piece of information. All right, so we know that it's not over there. We know that it's somewhere here. That slice was here, so we're kind of honing in on it. And then we pulled aggro. Poor Tauntauns.
You're good to go.
Stunned. All right. This looks good. And eventually we're going to go past it and it's going to face the other way, or we'll hit it. So again, we'll look at the circle. Okay. So now it's back this way. So we've kind of narrowed it down to a slice this way, a slice this way, a slice this way, a slice this way. I'm feeling somewhere in this area. Just trying to visualize all of those arcs overlapping. And so there we found one. Now if we do it again here, we got a secure crate. That should give us one. Yep. So if I do this again here, it should just give us a big red circle. Basically says I can't find anything close. So we just need to kind of move to a different area. But we'll double check and make sure. Oh, there is one relatively close. So let's see. So we've got kind of an arc going. So somewhere between that foothill, that mob. So we're just going to go straight this way down the center. And then we'll scan here. And it should give us either side to side, or is it still behind us? then we pass it. So again, the buff is just making the arc smaller. Oh, we got out of range. Interesting. Is this because it updated? Because we should not be out of range. It might have still been using the one that we already got. Because like I said, I was expecting that red circle. Okay, I guess we got out of range. So when we scanned from up there, we're kind of between this point and this point. So we got a line there. Now we're looking at from here to here. So I think our target area is kind of right in that area. All right, we'll get another piece of information here to hopefully help us hone in. Okay, so that way, this way, this way. Yeah, I think we're getting actually pretty close. Because that one was this way. Yeah, we're running out of places it could be. Unless it spawned up there again, but alright, I think we're pretty close. So now I'm gonna start dropping the amount that we move to basically the edge of these circles. Whichever way it gives us, we're just gonna move to the edge of this circle. And we'll slowly hone in on it here. Alright, so same thing. Kind of about the width of the circle. So I think we've got to be close. If it shines it up there, we'll check that spot again, but it shouldn't be there. Alright. This is not what I expected, because I think when we scanned over there, I didn't think it was this far over. But unless one has despawned and a new one has spawned, I think that can happen to you sometimes. Yeah, because we're getting some data here that doesn't actually make sense. Because when we scanned from up there, this was right at the edge of the cone. We're kind of getting outside that original one. So we're either looking at two different ones, or okay, I guess we'll try it up there again. That's where we got our last one. But okay, well, that makes sense. I wouldn't have expected it to be up there. Let's come over here and see if we can triangulate from over here. Oh, that's too far away. Trying to avoid that. Those tauntauns again. Okay. Jeez. We've got to be right on top of it here. There we go. That was weird. Yeah, because we scanned from here. I think we might have got one that spawned in on us there. Okay, so far we have picked up a secure chest and a chassis for... I think there's 3 different speeders you can build from these parts. Alright, let's give ourselves kind of a different point of reference. And we'll start scanning. So 2 down, 1 to go. Now the circle does go from where you're located, not from where you dig. So you can actually move around to to try to get. So like I can scan, for instance, I could scan there, but I could run myself over to here to give myself. So we've got a point kind of cone in this way. We'll see what happens when we get over here. So we're too far away. So it's somewhere over here. I'm also curious. Yeah. So that runic box was different. Whatever we pulled on runic was different. Alright, so I'm going to scan roughly in the same spot, but we're going to move closer to our original point. If you can get on two sides of it, you can sometimes get some good data. Okay, so the original one was this way, so we got kind of an arc. So we can eliminate that half of the arc. This arc is this way, so it's somewhere in a slice, a trapezoid, probably in this area. So we'll try from up here. So we got an arc this way. So kind of a trapezoid around this thing here. Now again, sometimes because you're moving around, your 3D visualizations might get off. Okay, so that helps. So it's still this way. So maybe a slice, because I think our slice came up this way. So now we're going to concentrate more on this side of the little tower here. And I think we're... Oh, excuse me. I think we're getting close enough now that we're just going to start inching towards it. Yep, so... We're going to... So early I try to do bigger jumps. Later in the process I try to move slower. And then once you get one that faces the other way, you know you've gone past it. We're going to end up having to fight this guy, I think. There we go. Just dig right through the satellite dish. There it was. Alright, so that got us another mission down. 10 notes of reflection. The season points no longer matter. We're done with the seasons, but we still want those notes of reflection to get the reputation items. Alright, let's see what we got. I got some materials there, and a chassis. I think I've built all of those speeders. Let's see, what are they? One's the exploiter. Yeah, there's one. This is another one. It's just the one that has... there is a third, and I don't remember. Explorer, exploiter. Can't remember what its name is, but it shoots fire out of its kind of exhaust pipes. That you can also... I think there's three. I think there's three that you can build with those dug up. Oh, I think they're all GSI. So let's say GSI. Explorer, exploiter. Yeah, the PMP-06 Pleasure Speeder. This is the one that shoots fire out of its tailpipes there. So those are the three that you can actually build from those components. Alright, so we got some missions to do to finish this one, because it's 10 more notes of reflection. We want those. Let's see, how are we doing on conquest? Oh, we're actually really low. Yeah, we should have killed those guys. How many more do we need? 5. Alright. Let's go back to Runic. We'll do this manually. 5,000 credits. What do you mean forbidden in my current location? That doesn't even make sense. I don't think the... There we go. That's weird. I've never seen the fact that we were in that treasure zone be a thing, unless standing up on that tower made a difference, that satellite dish. I don't know. That was a weird message. All right, 5,000 credits for 8,000. Oh, this is a bug that I have seen before as well. We're hitting them all today. So 5,000 credits for 8,000 conquest points. Is it worth it? You be the judge. Alright, let's just go there. That's not a bad spot. I'm not going to bother picking up the buffs. We don't really need them. Just got to go kill 5 things. Should have checked that before we left. There we go. 8,375 conquest points. Cool. Okay, we do need enough of these, though, that I think we'll do our standard conquest run. So let's start with everyone's favorite, CZ. We'll stick with Vet. We haven't spam clicked on her for her messages yet. We'll have to do that still too. Actually, I don't need you to be heals here, so we'll DPS you up.
Better check I still have all my parts. I don't really want to talk right now.
Don't.
We'll talk later. Promise. Well, I guess we're safe for the moment.
I can't have a... Yeah, I don't have any mission.
Let's go do something else, yeah? Lead the way.
That's a little better. Not the most interesting conversations yet.
You are sort of insane. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Let's move on, shall we?
She does not seem to be very enthusiastic with me.
Let's go do something else, yeah? Next time we take a break, I want to get my Leku buffed.
Sure, who wouldn't?
You are sort of insane. You know that, don't you?
So obviously Vet is not a trooper companion from the original. So I don't know if those are different. Let's see, Vet would be the warrior companion.
What did I do? Am I missing something?
Or if those are ones that they've put in for Vet as the Alliance Commander Companion. I'm not sure.
Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on, shall we? We'll talk later. Promise. Am I missing something? Am I missing something?
And I'm pretty sure I didn't do any romance options.
Just can't wait to
on
get back to my quarters and grab some shut-eye. Let's go do something else,
That
yeah?
was different.
This always does the trick.
Alright, one mission down. Grab 2 of these and 2 of these. And we'll have 2 missions down. Paulette does all the work.
Whatever you say. Let's move on, shall we? All right. Don't be so pushy.
That one might be the quick
Whatever
clicking
you
on me
say.
one.
What? Are you worried I'll leave you?
Okay, that seems to be one
Let's
of the
go do
original
something
ones.
else, yeah?
Alright, we're on my character with Circle Envy. Get a nice little tiny circle for my area of attacks.
What did I do?
Now, the nice thing about companions is you speed her up, they despawn and respawn. And so in the respawn process, their health fills back up.
This always does the trick.
Which is kind of nice. You can use that to your advantage, especially if you're running like we are with 2 DPS. And not as a healer. Like I can heal myself on the fly. But taking time to heal your companion. Now you can use your self-heal. In this case, it's what, reload and recharge and reload. Every class has one. And some objects have that tied to them as well. But it's nice just to... and it can be something as quick as like speed her up, speed her down, and now she's healed, right? So you can definitely use it to your advantage. Let's make sure we get enough of these guys. What are we at? 13. Pretty good shape. Actually, this will give us enough right here. Not even gonna charge my health back up. We're going all in. Reckless. Alright, so we've got 18. That's enough for us to go ahead and go to the next area, because we'll kill enough of the little sewer rat things, whatever they are, to get to 50. There's a lot of them down there. And that's in an instance, so those are all ours, right? We don't have to compete. So it does 2 things. We're not competing, but also it leaves spawns for other people. And I don't mind being a little bit nice about it. So that gets us to 28. Nice shot, Vet. She one shot at that one. Holy cow, Vet, you're a monster. You can see the dot running on her. And again, so her health is down, but we're going to go ahead and rocket boost here. So now when she comes back, she'll be at full health again. I'm not worrying about my health. We'll pull all these groups together here. Man, we barely even took a little bit. Got some dots on us. Ooh, that hit hard. I one-shotted that guy. Killing that with 2 DPS is nice. Alright, finish up CZ. Oops, hit the wrong button. That flips the map back and forth if you... So this is the new mini map if you don't run this version, which I like this version. Some people don't. And just as an FYI, if you do like this version but miss all of the stuff that's around it, if you go into your map editing, you can, unless they've turned this off, we'll see here. Yeah, they got this maximal mode, which brings all of the things back from the old version. So it's, I wish they'd like almost rename that Legacy, but since I never use this one, I just run it in that mode there, because I use this version of the map. That's the one I like. All right. Oh crap! You can't travel out of here. Can't travel out of the instance. You have to be outside of it. You can walk to the door if you want and travel from there. I just quick travel because I'm lazy. On to a crowd favorite, Ziost. If you like yourself a daily area where you don't have to fight very much, Ziost is your friend. If you like a shader that changes the color of all of your armor and stuff, Ziost is also your friend. So that makes my armor look relatively ugly. Yes, I am back to my original armor. So we'll grab our missions here. Right now, I believe I'm the only Republic player on Ziost, according to the bar. So if we look up here, this is usually hidden by my thing. You can see that there we go, players. Right now, it's just me. Now there could be an Imperial player here, because that is. Thought something moved on the screen. There we go. Mine's not going to track Imperial players, and this is a shared planet. So, but if there's not, then we kind of have free reign to do what we want here. Holy cow! That's our first 2 failures. We're only hitting 33% on our scans. How inefficient. Alright, Vet, let's rock and roll. I'm going to let Vet get stunned. Then I'll lay into him. I can get both of them off. If I can get both of those off right at the end, I can kill this without having to wait for the self-destruct. But what I should try is to fight him from afar. See if we can get that to happen. Because one of those has some travel time. There we go. Alright, see if we can pull this off. Oh, there's somebody. Like that takes time to travel, and if you can get both of those shots in, it's a damage spike, which works out. So that one slow travels. Oops, your demolition around there slow travels over, and while that's in the air, if you can get this shot off, which kind of goes much faster, then they both kind of hit at the same time, and you'll get kind of a damage dump, a little damage spike that way. It's the same damage average, right? Like, but for this, where I'm trying to get a little spike there at the end to make it not self-destruct, it can be kind of nice. This guy, I'm not going to worry about. Because I don't think I'm going to pull it off anyway. The other thing, if the timing hits right, if you manually get this stun to hit, you can manually stun him towards the end there and then damage dump before the stun goes off. Usually I just, whatever happens, I deal with it. Worst case, he self-destructs and you have to wait a little bit longer. Wow, we get to look right at Vet. I wish you could scan your companion and it'd give you information. That'd be funny. Wow, our genetic material harvesting has been poor. Let's see, what have we done? 1, 2, 3. We've done 4 so far, and I think we've only gotten 1. We're either 1 for 4 or 2 for 5. What are we? We're 2 for 5. We've scanned 5 times and gotten 2. So if anybody's watching, I did up my bit rate a bit. Got an upgrade to my connections. My upload speeds are faster now. So I went ahead and jumped it up. Not quite double. But let me know. Let me know if it looks better. Oh, nice. A lot of that also depends on if you're companion and you shoot at the same time right there at the end. You can get a nice big damage spike. I'll have to go back and watch the videos to see if it made any kind of difference or not on video quality with a better bit rate. 4 for 5. Four for 5. I think we're gonna hit about 50% on those. Oh, not even. There's another one hidden up here. Hidden isn't the right word, but yeah, we've got to be under 50%. Our scans have not been good. It's alright, there are more on the end of this run, and there's also more that we can run through when we have to run back to base, so not worried about getting enough, but just slows progress. I think there's even one inside the instance that we go into. We rarely see it because I'm usually done with the mission by then. Don't stop and scan here. You can get back on your speeder, but this is a timed thing. You could probably jump off, scan, and jump back on and still make it, I guess, but I don't think that's worth it. See, like there's one. Plenty of dudes. Alright, so we'll knock, I think, 3 missions out here. Something like that. Yep. They're doing the same thing I was. Get to the end, scan that last thing. Another failure. Yeah, I think we're well under 50% hit rate today. We've hit 4, and I know we've scanned more than 8. There we go. That one's done. Alright, our last mission here. I like the ones inside the instances. You don't have to worry about competing for resources or anything like that. Because this is private to you. The SWTOR terminology is phase. The more general game dev term is instance. It's a programming term. So an instance is you have an original version. So this level or this area exists. And then an instance is essentially a copy. So the instance concept in gaming is you make a copy for the individual. So this is my copy of this. Now, if I'm in a group, other players can come into my copy. But so yeah, that's where the term comes from. Is the instance is my copy of this area, and what I do in my copy only affects my copy. So as I scan these things, you know, if somebody else is also doing this mission, that guy that was right behind me probably still has to do it. His copy, these things are available for him as well. I'm not taking them away. This does not work on just Ziost here. Grouping up for this one, I've had problems with it. Like, each person has to scan their own. So it's better to do this instance solo, even if you're in a group for Ziost. So there we go, some game dev terminology. So I usually have my companion attack while I do this. That way I can get it all done on one battery. Now, the mission's technically done. You could run away from this fight if you don't want to fight it. If you are still getting reputation, you're going to want to do this fight because they will sometimes drop a reputation item. There we go. And now we just have to go back to the base. I don't use quick travel here because this quick travel will take you back to the orbital station. And then you have to run across the orbital station. And I killed myself there because I didn't want to drive out of the instance and drive all the way over to here. It's quicker just to spawn. But this route that I'm going back to the main base up here, it's like 1 or 2 seconds difference, but it's actually quicker than going up to the orbital station, going to the terminal, clicking through the terminal menu, and then basically traveling down to the planet. It'll put you inside the base after you do that, right? So it puts you basically right here. I do wish they would add a travel terminal here, but for story reasons, this is kind of a destroyed planet. I could see why it doesn't exist, but it'd be convenient because I'd use that for sure. We are Rishi bound. So, in my experience, a CZ Ziost Rishi run will get you, I think, right around 80,000 conquest points, something like that. So you tack on your starter planet, and you can make conquest. And these 3 are the fastest daily areas out of all the daily areas. You can get most of them done in that kind of 12 to 15, 12 to 20 minute range. I think we were right at the top of the hour. So right at 1 o'clock when we started this. What do we need? Nova Blades. And so we've gotten 2 done in 20 some minutes. Maybe a little bit after top of the hour. So we'll call it half an hour. And I'm not being the most efficient because I stop and I talk about things and things like that. But there's 1 Nova Blade in here. Are there any downstairs? I don't remember.
You're dead, me. Let's see what you're made of.
I don't think there are, so let's just go ahead and... I know there's some out here. Death Claws, there's some Nova Blades. Probably going to have to fight all 4 of these
Better
guys.
start running.
First mission done. If you have watched my streams before, you know exactly what I'm about to say. We come down here. We're going to start this mission. There's a 5-minute timer. You do not have to stay here and wait for the timer. We're going to move on. We have to come back to this cantina anyway to turn in another mission. It's right outside the door of the cantina. So we're just going to move on and do other missions while that timer's going. I can usually get through most of this next area in the time it takes for that timer to run out. Also, I kill all the shore crabs. We want those planetary bonuses for conquests, the 1 and the 2, and these guys count. And they are 1-shot kills, so... They also give you loot. That's probably a note of reflection. It is. One thing that is, I don't want to say difficult, but you'll notice, like, see those yellows over there? I can't tab to them if there's a red on screen. Once I get the red off screen, I can tab to them. So it'll default just to aggressives. If there's no aggressives in sight, then it will tab through your neutrals here, the yellows. So if you ever run into that, you're like, why can't I tab target the yellow guys? That's what's going on. If there is an aggressive or red on screen, it won't work. I don't think there's a setting to change it. Not one that I've seen. There's 25 already. Again, a lot of that's because we knocked out so many of those shore crabs. If we can get to these guys. We got a couple out of it. So what are there in that first area? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would say somewhere between 10 to 12. So half of the 25 kills just by killing the shore crabs in that area. Not too bad. And again, we're looking for speed and efficiency, right? You can go fight anything on this planet. You could fight all elites if you wanted to. They're just going to take longer to fight. And the longer they take to fight, the longer you're on the planet, the slower you're getting conquest. So it kind of depends. But if that's what you enjoy, then do it that way. I've mentioned it before. It's the one thing I love about MMO games. There's a variety of ways to tackle things. You know, if you want to role play your way through this where you only hunt wildlife, you could. If you want to only hunt Imperial characters, you know, you can kind of do it however you want. When I'm in the mode I'm in right now, it's mostly about just how fast can I get it. So all of these things where they're level 1 and we're just going to massacre them, make getting that done quicker. What are we at? So we're 4 minutes into our 5-minute timer. So if we waited this out, we'd still be standing there. Should be able to get this group. Sometimes I can get this whole mission done over here in the 5 minutes. Sometimes not. Count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. Six, 7, 8. We missed one. 9 of them here. And we're in our last 13 seconds. So there we go. So that mission is now done. We just have to go back and talk to him again. But again, there's no point in just standing there and waiting. You could. You know, if you wanted to go get a sandwich, take a bio break, you could start that mission and then go and... Okay, so let's do an experiment here. So notice that that one was this way. What do you mean my secret droid finds nothing nearby? That's a bug. Alright, if that happens to you... There we go. Oh, gee, I'm using the wrong one. Sorry. Alright, so I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to see if I can get over here. So remember, we were over there and it showed it in this direction. I think our buffs have worn off, yeah. If it's this one, it should show it in this direction. It is not. I bet you then it is this one. So again, just for illustration purposes, we're going to scan over here. But then we're going to run over on this side. And it should show in that direction. Unless it's something over there. But so I scanned over there. So I'm going to stand over here. So see how it's facing this direction? So this is probably our spot. If I would have been... So if it was going off the scan point, it would have shown that direction. So it's where you stand. So where you scan versus where you stand will change this. So don't go off of the scan point like, well... It said it was in that direction, or that direction, and I scanned there, so it must be over here. No, because I was standing on this side of it, it showed in that direction. Hopefully that made sense. Alright, on to the next area. Into the wild we go. Alright, I like to grab these profits. Let's grab that one too. I'm going to send Vet over and pull that group. We'll pull this group. Well, I tried to send Vet over to pull that group. Go get him, vet. Alright, while she's doing that, we'll pull this group. Hopefully we don't get too far away. There we go. Yep, we got too far away. So see, they went into evade mode. That was stretching it a little bit, trying to get both of those groups. Overly optimistic, we'll call it. Alright, we got 2 grappa meats. Deeper into the wilderness we go. Alright, here I like to pull all 3 of these groups if I can.
If I die, I'm going to haunt you.
Again, your mileage is going to vary. This character has pretty good survivability. I've got self-heals. I've got defenses. I don't mind pulling big groups without a healer. Now, the other thing would be, this planet's not hard if you put your companion in heal mode. Holy cow, we've already knocked out the planetary stuff. Alright, we got our last graphic meat. We also got a note of reflection. We've already done the defeat 75 total enemies. So now we just have 2 more kills to make. And we go turn everything in. I think we just already made conquest.
This always does the trick.
Yep, 101. Drop a heal on ourselves. Oh, must be Greed this week. I'm seeing Xeno runs in the chat. Alright, we'll go down, finish this mission, and then it's just turn in a bunch of them. Take out the river champion. Alright, so we have to turn 2 in here, and then 2 in back at the cantina.
Don't know how much longer I can come by.
So get our first guy here.
The creatures of prey.
Grab our useless weapon.
Oh, you bring most excellent news.
No, not the village itself, but, you know, the others. Each time I come back, the daggers in their eyes get bigger.
We get
Know
to
what I'm
hear the
saying?
rest of that conversation. So,
But they have not bothered us any.
if you come up on a random conversation, like we did, there's a lot going on in the background there. And then you get far enough out of range of it, it'll go back to full volume instead of spatial volume, and you'll hear the whole conversation. Alright, we'll go ahead and go outside. Turn in this quest.
I'm impressed. I'm Revelock. My employer specializes in data security. You ever need us, we're yours.
And then back into the basement.
Getting kind of popular with the local dregs.
There we go. Weekly done. And in honor of Wivister, let's see if our guys are... Okay, so last time we were here, this is the other part of the Gangnam Style, one of the Gangnam Style dances. Don't know what that one is. It's a little weird. Last time we were here, we got these guys doing the like a swim thing. They had the full-on like arms crossed in front of you Gangnam Style thing going on. Wivister showed that to me. So, all right, let's take this out. We don't need our Hoth Heroic, so that's gone. I'll leave that there just in case I go back. Actually, you know what? If I go back, I'm gonna have to grab the heroics anyway. We will leave that one though, since we got 3 done, just for the free stuff. All right, so because we got conquest in other areas, what are we at? 109, 126 with our 15%. So we made conquest. Usually at this point, if you're only doing this as a run, I would probably do Coruscant just because it's fast. And that would finish conquest for me. Let's pop back to our stronghold here, clean out our inventory, and just see where we're at. Haven't made conquest for the guild yet. That being said, if we look, Tolgoro still has 43,000 of conquest to do. So that's going to put us... Yeah, that'll put us over the top. So tomorrow, when I turn in the last reputation item, we'll make conquest as a guild. The other thing I want to check here, what do we need? We need 410, 400, 390. I'd like to get level 40 this week, so I think I will. But I still need 390,000 conquest, which shouldn't be too bad. Like if you look back here, we've got, compared to where we are, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 500,000 conquest I normally get, not counting what Zax did, so just in our normal. Tolgoro, Vignero, and Dacrinium are my reputation conquests. I'll probably do a CZ run on one of these guys. That'll give me another 100,000 as well. So I think we'll be okay. So that'll be my goal. Try to hit level 40. Alright, so we're going to do some things here. Let's see, let's drop that down there. We'll see if we can find all of the companion gifts. Alright, ready? Junk. A strategy I sometimes use here is let's just go ahead and repair, sell junk, because that cleans out your inventory. Then you look for things that are like, okay, reputation item, reputation item, reputation item, reputation item. I don't think I'm going to be able to deconstruct that. Usually not. You can on, like, Defil can, but it's not a deconstructible item. We'll go ahead and deconstruct those two. Alright, next thing we're going to do is, I have 336 gear on everything but my legendary implants. They cap at 334. That's all junk we're going to sell. So what I'm going to do is just open these boxes. Let's just drop these gifts into our stronghold. I'm going to go grab 2 336 implants. Just in case I open an implant, I want to get a 336 and not a 334. So I'm basically just upping that gear slot. Doesn't really matter because I'm not going to fight this way. But now when I open these, if we get an implant, which we may not. Ooh, those I've been short on. That's good. A belt. I need some relics is what I really need. Okay, so now that that's done, then I can re-equip these. So it didn't matter this time, but if I would have got an implant, it would have been 336. So basically, I'm just saving this stuff up and I gear up my alts with it. I'm not too worried because I don't use them on any main content. So just getting them a 336 set. Oh yeah, this is really good. Looks like I need some chest pieces. Okay, what do we have? Force healers. Let's pull that out. Force healer. Force healer. Pummelers, targeters. So bolt blaster stuff is trooper. The targeters is my smuggler. Pummelers, I think, is the... I think that's the Jedi Knight. And then the Force Healers is obviously my Sage. Alright. What do we have? Bolt Blaster, Bolt Blaster. Oh, there's another Force Healer. Now, the one thing that you can do with this mixed set of gear, let's see if we can find an example. So here, the Bolt Blaster's legs have accuracy. Bolt Blaster, Bolt Blaster. But you notice, oh, the Pummelers have accuracy. Do I have anybody else's? So here we go. The Targeters have critical. So you can mix and match your pieces. If you don't want that accuracy or you don't want the critical, you can mix and match your pieces in order to get the stuff you want. Again, for the most part, I don't worry too much about it for my alts. All right, we'll throw that in there, throw that in there. These are universal, so they're just DPS, accuracy, and alacrity. So they're not by a particular thing. So we have a Pummelers, a Targeters, and a Force Healer's helmet, right? So same thing here. We got alacrity, accuracy, and critical. So you could actually somewhat stat optimize your character if you wanted to. All right, for right now, we'll throw both of those in there. Throw that in there. This bottom set is tank gear. So it's a little bit different. It's got absorption, defense. It should have shield chance on it somewhere. Sorry about that. I hit a button on my mouse. There we go. Shield rating, defense rating, absorption. So same thing. You could balance different stats there. All right, we're going to go ahead and throw this in here because I have a character that I store all that on. And then let's sell this stuff. These are all reputation items, which I can't use anymore. All right, let's see where things stand. Let's check our reputation. So we are 17 of 30,000, or if you look at this, 57 of 70. 70 is the total for all these tiers, but when you get a tier, this changes over to just the next tier. So we're in that last tier. We have 690 left. I get like 800 and something based off of that. So 17, we'll be at 18,000 something, so we'll need like 12,000 more, which is 3 weeks. We cap out at 5,000 a week. All right, I think we're in actually pretty good shape. Interesting stream. It's always interesting after a patch, especially a big patch. I haven't decided, like I said, I usually don't play major story items out on stream, you know, but this is the, let's turn this back on. This is the new story. So I think I might even change the title. I think in the tonight stream, the 6 o'clock stream, I'm going to go ahead and just play this because that's usually about a 2-hour stream. My gut is I'll be able to get through the 2 hours or through this content in a couple of hours. So that's what we'll probably do tonight at 6 if you're interested in seeing the latest expansion. Now, obviously, spoiler warnings. This is at the end of that chain of, you know, we showed that graphic. This is after everything on that graphic. So you know, there's a lot of story spoilers that could pop up in this. But I think it's what we'll do at 6. We'll go ahead and play through the new 7.3 content. This is the new story arc that came out. So if you're interested in that, swing by. Also, just a shout out, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. If you celebrate Juneteenth or are aware of Juneteenth, that's on Monday as well. So in honor of that, make sure that you are up and aware of the story and the reason behind Juneteenth. Beyond that, I think we're going to go ahead and call the morning stream complete. Again, we stream every Saturday for Extra Life. If you are willing or able, check out the link in the description down below or the chat down below. That'll take you to my profile page. My profile page is where you can make donations. So it looks something like this. There's a donate button, and then all the people who have donated to me, you probably won't see the settings thing. So thank you to all of my donors so far. We are at 580. Next milestone is I get, and this isn't for you, but it's like I get gold medals and stuff based off of my donation totals. We're still going to shoot for this 3,000. We're running a little slow this year compared to last year, but I think we can still make it. But this is what my page looks like. It's my 5th year participating, and overall, I'm 445th of all donors, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. Comparatively, there are 8,122 people who have signed up. Now, obviously, some people haven't gotten any donations. These numbers are scary. You know, I don't think, if I got 282,000 in donations, that would be insane. My best is 2,600. I got that last year. Where would that put me right now if I had it? We're getting close to top 100. Yeah, if I had that right now, but I don't. But this is what it looks like. So when you click on the link, you should see my logo, the name, and you know, go ahead and you click here to donate. You can use this incentive. Right now, if you hit 400, you'd be my new top donor, and that would show up in this upper left-hand corner here. So that being said, if you are able, that's great. If you're not, that's cool. You know, any support helps, whether it's just watching the stream, recommending the stream, liking the stream, donating, or subscribing to the channel. All those things make YouTube more inclined to show my content to other people, and those other people might be willing to donate. The other thing, that if you are a participant in social media and you want to share links to my channel, links to my stream, or links to my donation page, you have a social network that's different than mine. So if you find, you know, if like you do that and somebody in your social network is like, holy cow, Children's Miracle Network, I definitely want to support that, and they make a donation, that is because of your support and your help. So, you know, share my links out on your social media. You'll get to an audience that I don't normally have access to. So any and all of that kind of helps, and it is very much appreciated. So if I don't see you tonight, have a great week. Have a good Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. All of the things that are coming up. And as always, go watch, play, or create something great, and have a good week. Catch you guys later.